Chapter 1056. Of course it's your turn. Xianxia stood up with difficulty and carried his school bag on his back. Another fight? Little Qi keenly sensed Xianxia's rapid breathing. I resolved a small conflict. Xianxia could not bear to lie to her. He could not say it if she did not ask, but if she asked he could not answer. I'll come down to see you tonight. After saying that, little Qi hung up the phone. Worry for nothing. Xianxia put away his phone and found his motorcycle. His tone was obviously very disdainful, but the corners of his mouth could not help but curl up. After dinner, little Qi took a bunch of medicine from home and prepared to go out. However, she was stopped by Mu Qiqi. Where are you going? Go down and take a look at Xianxia. Little Qi answered truthfully. Little Qi, tell mom the truth. Do you really like that kid? Mu Qiqi was still very worried. Yes. Little Qi nodded and didn't deny it. I know I'm still too young. Maybe you'll think that I'm just playing around. I don't know what feelings are, but mommy, even so, I want to experience my life on my own. I won't regret any decision I make. I don't want to live under your protection. Mu Qiqi took a deep breath. She knew that she couldn't win an argument against her daughter. If it were her, she might not be able to do better. Master Xiao was right about one thing. 12 or 13 years old was the age of enlightenment. Rather than letting her suppress it, it was better to let her experience it. Only in this way could he guide her properly and let her understand true feelings. Mommy doesn't want to object, but I have to remind you, got it? I know how to protect myself. Little Qi blushed. She knew what her mother was worried about. The forbidden fruit could not be eaten secretly. At the very least, it had to be at the right age. That's good. Come back soon. In fact, little Qi was really grateful to her family. She was very grateful that she had such open-minded parents, so that she would not suffer many setbacks at the beginning of her relationship. She liked Xianxia and kept thinking about that bad guy in her heart. She had no other choice. At 8:15 p.m. little Qi arrived at Xianxia's house. Auntie Hong brought Grandma He to visit the neighbor's house, so at this moment Xianxia was the only one left at home. Little Qi knocked on the door and saw that Xianxia's upper body was bare, looking sleepy. Why aren't you wearing clothes? Xianxia's mischievous nature began to play tricks again. He directly dragged little Qi into the room and pressed her against the wall. You knew it was dangerous. Why did you come down? Little Qi glared at him and then saw the injuries on his body. Didn't I say it was just a small scratch? Who knew that little puppy was so strong? Xianxia scoffed. Sit down, little Qi ordered. I'll apply the medicine for you. Got it. My little girlfriend has gone crazy. I can't afford to offend her. Xianxia sat down on the chair. Then he saw little Qi take out medicine from the medicine box and lay on his shoulder to apply it. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, do they know you're coming down? Yes, I told my mom. Little Qi nodded. They really believe in my self-control. Xianxia smiled bitterly. Especially when he saw little Qi's face through the mirror, he wanted nothing more than to steal her. It's all yours, but not now, little Qi told Xianxia seriously. Who did you fight with? He's injured to this extent. At this moment Xianxia once again answered carelessly, your childhood friend. Chapter 1057. Who asked that kid to not have a girlfriend to love him, but he did. Soon the medicine was applied. Xianxia touched little Qi's head and pressed her head against his chest. Now, I can only do this to satisfy my craving. Little Qi let him hold her. When Grandma He and Auntie Hong returned, she greeted them and left Xianxia's house. Little girls are really lovable. Auntie Hong also liked little Qi. As a young lady, she was not delicate at all. She was beautiful and considerate. Anyone who saw her would like her. Auntie Hong, I asked her to be my girlfriend. Xianxia was wearing a shirt and could not hide the excitement in his tone. Seriously, girlfriend? But she's still so young. Don't her parents object? Auntie Hong also had concerns. After all, which parent would allow their child to fall in love at such a young age? Her parents are different. Xianxia followed little Qi's route home and could not help but look. As long as you're happy, Xianxia. I know that you're a good child who knows his limits. Limits? Xianxia took a deep breath because when he heard these two words he felt a little numb. Perhaps his father-in-law was also testing his limits. The next morning, the second day of the sports meet. Little Qi had a 400-meter final. Xianxia had promised her yesterday to let her participate, but he did not allow her to show off. During Little Chi's competition, Xianxia sat in the audience seat the entire time. His gaze followed Little Chi as if he was afraid that he would lose her. Hey, look, who is Junior paying attention to? Which girl is so lucky? She can get his favor? From time to time, the discussions of 2 or 3 girls could be heard. After Xianxia heard this, he frowned and stood up. He took the prepared sugar water to the finish line. Soon Little Chi was first. However, after running, she knelt on the ground. Xianxia picked her up from the ground and carried her to her seat. I'm first. Originally, Xianxia wanted to get angry, but when he saw the confidence on Xing Qingwan's face, he smiled helplessly. This was the Xing Qingwan he knew. Drink it. Xianxia sat beside her and handed her the sugar water. Little Chi took it and smiled warmly. At that moment, a little fan walked up to Little Chi and handed her a love letter. However, Xianxia stopped him. Are you asking for a beating? It's none of your business that I'm looking for Xing Xiao. The little fanboy seemed a little curious. If you want to die, continue moving forward. Xianxia stretched out his leg and blocked the few of them. Little Chi drank the brown sugar water as if nothing had happened, sweeping away all the discomfort in her body. Although those people liked Little Chi, they were even more afraid of Xianxia. Therefore, they did not dare to continue forward. They looked at each other and dispersed. If you do this, I won't have any friends soon. Why didn't I know that you have friends? Xianxia mocked her. Sit here and rest well. I'm going to prepare for the competition. You don't have to bring me the towel. I'll pick you up for lunch later. Got it. Little Chi nodded. She was really strict. Xianxia got up from the chair and rubbed Little Chi's head. However, such an intimate action of his attracted the attention of the girl. The two of them are dating, right? Didn't you see Xianxia's doting expression? Chapter 1058. Because of Xianxia's instructions, Little Chi did not appear in the crowd. However, even from afar she could hear the loud screams coming from the field. The high jump and long jump had just been carried out. Xianxia was in a relaxed state. He had won 2 first places, but because of his all-rounder attitude, he had attracted the attention of all the girls in the school. Even the cold and aloof campus belle was tempted to confess her love to him. Therefore, after Xianxia's competition ended, the school belle appeared on the crowded field and personally delivered a sports drink to Xianxia. Student He, I want to invite you for lunch at noon. I wonder if you have the time? What a beautiful scene. The long-haired school belle had personally delivered the drink. This was equivalent to declaring her love in public. It was really enviable. However, Xianxia was completely unmoved. He had no intention of taking the things from the school belle. He just bent down to pick up his towel and replied coldly, I don't want anything to happen between me and the school belle. Xianxia rejected the school belle. He actually rejected the school belle directly. Everyone was surprised. Which school belle and the school hunk didn't have some love-hate entanglement? However, Xianxia had no intention of doing so at all. He didn't do anything at all. He just grabbed his towel and brushed past the campus belle. Oh my god. Everyone looked at the school belle's embarrassed expression and then looked at Xianxia's handsome back. This boy was too arrogant. It's just now. Wait a few days and see. Which man can resist the pursuit of a beautiful girl? He doesn't even give the school belle face. He's too good at pretending. Xianxia completely ignored what the people behind him said. In any case, he was already used to the commotion. He took the towel and went to the big tree near the locker room. However, he saw Little Chi dozing off against the tree trunk. You're really something. Xianxia revealed a doting expression. Then he went forward and shook Little Chi awake. You'll catch a cold if you sleep here. I'll take you to eat. Did you win? Little Chi followed Xianxia's footsteps and stood up. What do you think? There's no need to ask about such a meaningless thing, right? Xianxia smiled confidently and took the empty bottle from Little Chi's hand. You're quite obedient. You drank it all, so are you still uncomfortable? Little Chi shook her head. My mother is at home and there's a nutritionist. It won't be a big problem. Are you showing off Miss Jiao's life to me? Didn't you have a childhood like this too? Little Chi ignored his sour words. I saw the photos you took in England. The two of them chatted as they walked. Not far away, the girls in the school were already in an uproar when they saw the scene. Xianxia was always cold to the school belle, but he could talk and laugh with Xing Qingwan. After all, Xing Qingwan was the richest girl in Jianchuan. It was normal for some men to want to be the son-in-law of the dragon. However, Master Xiao of the Xing family was famous everywhere. How unafraid of death was he Yanji? The two of them had lunch in the cafeteria and then went back to the classroom to rest. However, along the way little Qi had heard a lot of rumors. Therefore, after returning to the classroom she poked He Yanji's arm and asked, "The school bell confessed to you? What is this? Something worth saying out loud?" He Yanji asked little Qi before he lay down to sleep. Then he whispered into little Qi's ear, "What can really make my soul dance is your confession." Chapter 1059. Did anyone say what? He Yanji stared at little Qi with interest. Say that I like to play with rich people? Who am I? Is this the first day they met? But I know you're not that kind of person, little Qi blurted out and hurriedly explained for He Yanji. I know you're not. He Yanji carefully sized up little Qi's eyes. Then he flicked her head. I have a notorious reputation. I don't care what others think of me. Little Qi was silent for 2 seconds after hearing He Yanji's words. Finally she nodded. I understand. Let's take a nap. Or do you want to do something with me while everyone is taking a nap? Looking at He Yanji's naked gaze, little Qi quickly lay down on the table. Compared to before, this person was even more unscrupulous in teasing. He Yanji looked at his obedient wife with satisfaction and lay down beside her. What school bell? She wasn't the one in his heart. No matter how beautiful she was, it was useless. However, not long after the two of them lay down, little Qi couldn't help but ask He Yanji, don't you think the school bell is very beautiful? I don't think so. Don't you think it's great to be confessed by the school bell? Is it great? He Yanji turned his head and looked at little Qi. He mouthed to her, the best time in my life is when I kiss you. Aren't you tempted at all? Little Qi deliberately refused to let him go. Looks like you want me to announce our relationship in front of the whole class. Tang Weilin said. When little Qi heard this she quickly grabbed his hand. Don't do anything rash. Well, you can be more obvious when you're jealous. He Yanji smiled proudly. Am I? Little Qi asked He Yanji with her eyes wide open. After school, I'll prove with all my heart that I only have one wife. Little Qi was speechless. Damn it, he didn't forget to run his mouth at all times. However, the matter of the school bell wasn't over just like that. Perhaps it was because she was confident in her looks that the school bell wasn't willing to be humiliated by He Yanji like this. Therefore she went around asking about He Yanji. No one knew how she found out the address of He Yanji's new home. She actually sent someone to deliver things to his door. Xing Qingwan was rich, wasn't she? She was also rich and she had a good face and a good figure. She didn't believe that there would be a man who could resist such temptation. The campus bell's battle array was so big that almost everyone in the school knew about it. When He Yanji brought little Qi home he saw flowers and luxury car keys at home. He smiled playfully. Auntie Hong, how many has this been? If I remember correctly it should be the 37th. Aunt Hong counted with her fingers and said, Young master, you have Miss Xing now. Restrain yourself. He Yanji shrugged. I didn't do anything. Xiaowen can testify. Then how do you deal with these things? Little Qi raised her head and asked He Yanji. You'll know tomorrow. He Yanji shook off those eyesores. Let's go. I'll send you home and do some bad things on the way. Yanji, don't always tease Miss Sheng. Auntie Hong was afraid that little Qi would misunderstand He Yanji's frivolity. Auntie Hong, it's okay. I'll learn. Before little Qi could finish her sentence, He Yanji had already led her out of the house. In a small alley not far away, He Yanji pressed little Qi against the wall and pressed her against it. I have to get used to it. After all, I can't hold it in anymore. Chapter 1060. Then I still have a few years to go before I grow up. What are you going to do? He Yanji lifted little Qi's chin and smiled even more unscrupulously. Are you planning to spend the rest of your life with me, little Wan? Are you just playing with me? Little Qi looked at his handsome face dangerously and asked. Of course. He Yanji tapped the tip of her nose. But I want to play with you like this for the rest of my life. Little Qi took the opportunity to wrap her arms around He Yanji's neck and plunged into his embrace. This is the first time I like someone. Don't let me be sad and disappointed. He Yanji gently rubbed her head as if he was silently comforting her. The two of them hugged for a while before letting go of each other. Let's go. I'll send you home. For the past 2 days Xianxia had sent little Qi outside the banyan courtyard. However, the previous few times he had been lucky and did not run into anyone from the Shen and Xing families. But today Xianxia was not so lucky. This was because after he put down little Qi, Master Zhao's phantom stopped beside the two of them. Then Master Xiao rolled down the window and looked at the two of them outside the door with an indifferent expression. Little Qi was shocked and looked at her father. This was because when a normal person saw his gaze, they would most likely be overwhelmed by his aura. She even couldn't bear it and subconsciously wanted to stand in front of Xianxia to help him avoid Master Zhao's gaze. However, Xianxia was not moved at all. He met Xing Zhao's gaze calmly and bowed slightly to signal him. Su Che watched from the front and immediately felt confident. This child had seen the world. He had a noble aura and was bold enough. Master Xiao seemed to be satisfied. He didn't say anything and took the initiative to close the window. Let's go. When little Qi saw that her father had left, she touched her chest and was a little nervous. Then she turned around to look at Xianxia, only to see that he was calm and composed. There was no trace of panic at all. Won't you be afraid when you see my dad? Why should I be afraid? Just respect him in your heart. After saying this, Xianxia patted little Qi's head. Go home. Little Qi nodded. I'll watch you leave. Are you that reluctant? There's no alley around that I can kiss you in. Xianxia suddenly crossed his arms over his chest and his expression was frivolous. Of course I don't mind kissing you on the street, but are you okay with it? We're at the doorstep of the Xing family. Little Qi instantly glared at him. This person always had a bad mouth. I'm going in. Be careful on the road. Xianxia watched his wife enter the house before getting on his motorcycle and leaving. In the living room, Xiao had just put down his coat. Little Qi couldn't help but feel a little guilty because she didn't want her father to see it. This kind of thing was always a little embarrassing. Dad, Xiao raised his hand and looked at his watch. It was 8:30 p.m. Your homeroom teacher called in the morning and said that you got second place in the midterm exam, so you're not going to be ranked last anymore? Xiao pretended that nothing had happened and diverted his daughter's attention. Let's have a change of taste from time to time. Little Qi sat down beside Xiao and her nervousness eased a lot. When you go home in the future, don't go to the door. Dad won't say anything to you, but your grandfather might not be able to accept it. If you bump into him, you'll be the one in trouble. After little Qi heard this, she quickly hugged Xiao's arm and rubbed against it. Dad, you love me the most. Look at that kid's performance. Xiao was prepared to give this most difficult task to Xianxia and nurture him from a young age. He was a husband first and then a father. Only Mu Qiqi was his lifelong responsibility. Chapter 1061. The next morning little Qi sent Xianxia a text message, but he did not reply. Little Qi arrived at school alone, but she heard all the students talking. Xianxia had moved all the things that the school bell had sent home to the school and unscrupulously placed them on the playground. The principal rubbed his aching forehead and directly ordered the school's cleaners to return all the valuable items to the school bell's home. Didn't they think they had embarrassed themselves enough? For this reason, the school bell once again went to Xianxia's class. Taking advantage of the fact that the sports meet had not started yet, she blocked Xianxia in the classroom. At the door were the school bell's two good sisters. They were there to stop the students in the class from entering. Isn't this school bell too overbearing? She likes Xianxia. Why can't she let us go back to our seats? That's right. What does it have to do with us if she can't catch up to Xianxia? In the classroom, Xianxia sat calmly in his seat and the school bell stood in front of him. The door and windows of the classroom were filled with his classmates watching the show. You're really arrogant. The school bell lifted her elegant long hair and pursed her lips as she looked at Xianxia. I've never been rejected by anyone. There's a first time for everything. Xianxia continued to be poisonous. Why don't you like me? I'm rich and beautiful. How can I not be worthy of you? The school bell continued to make things difficult for Xianxia. Tell me the reason and I'll let you go. Xianxia took a deep breath and looked up at the so-called school bell. The reason is, I'm a clean freak. After the school bell heard this, her eyes suddenly widened. Beauty is your capital and enjoyment is your right, but I have the right to refuse, don't I? I don't want the people in the room to be your boyfriends when I take you out. Isn't that cheap? The school bell's face suddenly turned red and then white. Could it be that this reason is not enough? The school bell was angry and had no way to refute him. At this moment she suddenly saw little Chi at the door. She pointed at little Chi and asked, "What about her? What is she?" Her. Xianxia looked at little Chi in the crowd and the corners of his mouth curled into a smile. "She's my exclusive, unique, the only creature that can wander around me. I'm too lazy to know your name. Don't touch her. The price is not something you can afford." The school bell glared at little Chi fiercely, took a deep breath, and finally left Xianxia's classroom. Don't regret it if you have the guts. In Xianxia's life, what he had heard the most since he was young was warnings. Therefore, even when facing Master Xiao, his expression did not change. Why would he be afraid of the school bell? Little Chi looked thoughtfully in the direction of the school bell's departure. After he left, she returned to Xianxia's side. "You didn't give her any face at all. The whole school knows about it. If we don't do this, how can we destroy the courage of those little girls?" Xianxia looked at little Chi in confusion. "Hubby, who are you doing this for? Give me some space to perform. It's very boring to finish everything." Little Chi couldn't help but complain. "Sean, your attacks are a little too lethal. Take it easy, huh?" Xianxia said with a smile. Then he turned his gaze to the sports committee member, looking like he was settling scores. "Who asked you to register Xing Qingwan for the 1,500-meter race? Can you give me a name?" Chapter 1062. The sports commissioner was so scared that his forehead was covered in sweat. "That? If you don't report it, I'll take it as you?" It was Enruoli's suggestion. The sports commissioner immediately replied. "It's none of my business. Xianxia, don't hit me." Xianxia nodded and turned his gaze away. He didn't look for trouble with the sports commissioner. After little Chi heard this, she frowned and turned her head again. "Why don't you arrange for Enruoli to go up? This has already been reported. I can't make the decision. You have to tell the teacher. Moreover, the competition is starting in the afternoon," the sports commissioner replied with a bitter face. Little Chi smiled faintly and didn't look for trouble with the sports commissioner anymore. Instead, she walked to Enruoli's seat and looked down at the weak girl in the seat. "Why did you recommend me to run the 1,500 meters? You said it yourself. You've practiced Sonda, so sports must be your strength. Other than you, no other girl in the class can do this task," Enruoli explained matter-of-factly. "That's a good reason." After little Chi finished speaking, she turned her back to Enruoli. However, the next moment she turned around and grabbed Enruoli's shirt, pulling her closer. "Since you like to run so much, go ahead. Anyway, my good friend is here, so you can't run. I'll go and tell the teacher now that you're willing to be a substitute." "I don't want to." Enruoli immediately trembled. She was as weak as a lamb. "Xing Qingwan, don't bully others just because your family is rich." "Oh, so you know that my family is rich. Then you still dare to dig a hole for me behind my back. Obviously you don't care if I take revenge. I don't care why you framed me. I'll only give you two choices. First, be a substitute and run the 1,500 meters. Second, disappear completely from Jianchuan High School." Enruoli didn't want to choose either, so she looked at Xianxia for help. "Yanji, please help me say something." "Help you say what? Aren't you reaping what you sow?" Xianxia replied with a slight smile. "I've been sick before. I can't run the 1,500 meters at all. I'll die." "Then have you ever thought that I'm sick too?" Little Chi asked Enruoli seriously. "No one can save you this time." "I want to find teacher." Enruoli shouted angrily. "I won't let you bully people as you please." "Then go. In this way, can I take it that you've made the second choice?" Enruoli did not reply. Instead, she ran straight out of the classroom. At this moment, little Chi asked in front of the whole class, "It was a personal grudge between me and Enruoli just now. It's true that I can't participate in today's 1,500 due to a special reason. So if any of you are willing to be a substitute, I'll apply to the teacher right now. Of course, if it wasn't for this special reason, I'll definitely finish the race, regardless of whether I'm framed by those despicable people or not. Let me do it." A short-haired girl wearing glasses in the class stood up and said to little Chi, "That's my strength. I was going to sign up for it anyway." Little Chi walked up to him and nodded. "Thank you." This is also my personal honor. While the two of them were talking, Enroli had already gone to the office to complain to the old witch. How could the old witch see a student being bullied like this? She immediately returned to the classroom with Enroli. Xianxia, is this how you bully your classmates? Chapter 1063. Teacher, don't just listen to her side of the story. You should also listen to what others have to say. Isn't that right, sports commissioner? Little Chi looked at the trembling sports commissioner. The little boy was quite frightened. He immediately stood up and answered, Teacher, Xianxia should have been arranged for Xianxia to apply for the 1,500 meters. But Enroli suggested to me that Xianxia knows Sonda and that her physical fitness is very good. She's very suitable for long-distance running, so she asked me to arrange it for Xianxia. I thought it was Xianxia's idea. I didn't expect her to not know it all. I just heard that she's very strong, so I suggested it, Enroli explained forcefully. You know me so well. I heard that I'm very strong, so I suggested it to the sports commissioner. Do you know that I have an old illness? Little Chi questioned Enroli loudly. Everyone in the class knows why you did that. Do you still need to explain? Enough. The old witch pushed the glasses on the bridge of her nose and interrupted them sternly. You guys come with me to the office. Little Chi rolled her eyes. It didn't matter. At most she would just be scolded. He was used to it anyway. On the other hand, Enroli always looked weak and pitiful. She didn't know who she was pretending for. In the end, the sports commissioner replaced Xianxia, and the teacher had no objections. You guys go first. Enroli stays. After this matter was cleared up, the old witch still had to continue scolding them about puppy love. Little Chi and the sports commissioner walked out of the teacher's office. Then, before class started, Little Chi took out her phone and dialed Qing Hui's number. Uncle Hui, there's something I need your help with. She had never used her power to bully anyone in her life. This time she gave her first time to Enroli. The sports commissioner walked beside Little Chi and felt a chill run down his spine. He was glad that Little Chi had not been involved. He was practically kneeling down to thank her. Soon Little Chi returned to her seat. Xianxia saw that she was angry, so he held her hand under the table and smiled. Jealous? I've always had that attitude. Whether it's scolding me or framing me, don't let me see it. Otherwise I won't be that easy to provoke. Just now you said that you have an old illness. Tell me what's going on. Feeling that Xianxia was squeezing her palm very hard, Little Chi's face immediately turned red. When there's a chance. Fine. I'll patiently wait for my wife's little secret. In the teacher's office, Enroli was listening to the old witch's earnest lecture. Student, and you're still a student now, so you should focus your energy on your studies and not on those boring things. Especially not hurting others. Although Xianxia is mischievous, she has been in my hands for almost a year. Unless someone provoked her, she would not take the initiative to teach them a lesson. You were the one who made the mistake first. I hope you can correct yourself in time. If Little Chi heard the old witch's words, she might jump up. She didn't expect that there would be a day when this old witch would speak up for her. However, Enroli did not have the chance to correct herself. Because Little Chi had already said that she would only give her two choices. The first was to be a substitute and the second was to transfer schools. Since the substitute position was taken by someone else, the only thing left was to transfer schools. Chapter 1064. That afternoon, Enroli's parents personally went to the school to pick her up. They heard that when Enroli was taken away, she cried and threw a tantrum. She hugged the big tree in the school and did not want to leave at all. Little Chi deeply regretted that she did not see that scene because in the afternoon, she cheered for Xianxia on the playground. Just like that, the 3-day sports meet ended successfully. Because of Xianxia's support this year, the class that was originally last in sports could also hold its head high in the grade this time. The old witch's mood improved a lot when she saw this. In order to celebrate our class winning first place in the group this time, we'll organize a class meeting tomorrow night. Those who perform will be rewarded. For students, as long as they didn't go to class, they could do anything. Little Chi was also happy about this, so she turned to look at Xianxia, who was lying on the table, and asked, "Do you want to perform? Tomorrow night, I'm going to accompany Grandma to meet an acquaintance," Xianxia answered in a low voice. "Is that so? You go ahead. I'll play by myself at the class meeting." Little Chi waved her hand to show that she didn't mind. I know you want to play with me. Another day. I'll make it up to you. Who cares? Little Chi snorted and then said to Xianxia, I don't need you to send me off tonight. I'm going to my great-grandfather's house. This little girl had such a strong desire for revenge. After school in the afternoon, the two of them went their separate ways. However, Xianxia still rode his motorcycle and watched Little Chi get into Qinghui's car. Only then did he put on his helmet and leave. He didn't know when it started, but it had become his habit to ensure the little girl's safety. Also, what exactly was Little Chi's old illness? This also planted a seed of worry in his heart. On the way back, Little Chi put down her school bag and praised Qinghui. Uncle Hui, aren't you too fast? Miss, I haven't done this yet, Qinghui told Little Chi truthfully. Qinghui told Ming Chi the truth. Master Xiao asked me to do something else. I haven't had the time. Little Chi was speechless. Then why was enrollee taken away? Little Chi thought about it and there was only one possibility, and that was Xianxia. Therefore, she sent a message to Xianxia asking, what exactly happened to enrollee? Xianxia stopped his motorcycle and took out his phone. After reading the message, he smiled and replied, I just called her parents. They used to be old acquaintances. They probably didn't want their daughter to continue to fall, so they took her away. Ske, then why didn't you tell me? Little Chi expressed her dissatisfaction. There's nothing to say. Xianxia replied coolly. Hurry up and go home, little wife. In a few days I'll introduce you to my friends. When Little Chi saw the word concubine, she could always think of Xianxia's handsome face. Finally she smiled sweetly. Silently cleaning up the annoying trash for his wife and taking revenge for his wife, he was really as black-bellied as his father at home. Miss Qinghui was puzzled when he saw Little Chi's expression. It's fine, Uncle Hui. That matter has been settled. Little Chi put away her phone and answered Qinghui's doubts. After Qinghui heard this, he remained silent. However, he had doubts in his heart. What was the background of that kid? Even Master Xiao didn't ask about the two children. He didn't believe that the kid was just a hooligan. Actually, he was just a hooligan. It was just that he was a noble hooligan with hundreds of millions of assets. Chapter 1065. The next day at school, without enrollee, the class was as lively as usual. However, in the morning, the class leaders had already finished gathering all the programs for the night. Although Class 3 had always been bad at results, there were quite a number of talented students. Soon the 15 programs for the night were ready. In addition, at noon the class leaders began to decorate the classroom. Little Chi thought that tonight's class meeting would be quite interesting. Unfortunately, Xianxia did not participate and even asked for leave from the teacher. I'm not here at night. Don't secretly miss me. After school in the afternoon, Xianxia packed up his messy school bag while looking at Little Chi with pity. I'll make it up to you in the future. Who the hell would miss you? Little Chi replied stubbornly. However, for some reason, when she saw Xianxia carrying his school bag out the door, she quickly felt something called loneliness in her heart. Xianxia carried his school bag and walked out of the classroom as usual. He went to the bathroom on his floor. However, when he was washing his hands, he heard someone mention Little Chi's name. Kid, didn't you prepare a love letter for Xing Qingwan? When are you going to send it out? While the class meeting is tonight. Then I wish you a successful confession. Xianxia pricked up his ears. After washing his hands for a long time, he walked out of the bathroom as if nothing had happened. Only when no one was looking would he show a helpless expression. You really make me worry. Little Chi knew nothing about all this and was full of anticipation for the class meeting that night. It was a pity that Xianxia was not there at this time. At 6:50 p.m., Jianchuan Middle School's evening self-study session began. Class 3, where Little Chi was already exuding a strong aura of youth. This was because the originally pale lights in the classroom had now turned into soft, colorful lights. On the blackboards in front and behind the classroom, there were also colorful activity boards. Balloons and ribbons could be seen everywhere. This was simply the standard for school activities. From the looks of it, it was really full of youthful energy. Little Chi followed her classmates to find their seats one after another. Then she saw the host come out to adjust the atmosphere. Because students liked to fight and fool around, the program was indeed fun and funny. Soon the class meeting was halfway through. It was past 8:30 p.m. Little Chi was holding her phone and eating snacks. She was thinking about whether she should send Xianxia a text message, but in the darkness, someone secretly tugged at her. Qingqingyuan, someone is looking for you outside. At this time, little Qi did not know that someone was confessing to her. She put down her snacks and left through the back door because the teacher was not that strict during class activities. However, behind the classroom door, a tall and thin boy saw little Qi come out and quickly stuffed the gift into her hand. That I've been choosing for a long time. I hope you like it. Little Qi was stunned because she was confused when she encountered such a thing. There's a letter inside. I hope you can read it when you get back. The boy lowered his head and looked at the tip of his toes, appearing to be very unconfident. He was obviously a big boy, but his tone was shy and embarrassed. Little Qi looked at the thing in her hand and was racking her brains to think of a way to refuse. However, a figure suddenly appeared and directly returned the gift in her hand to the boy. His voice was also very cold. She doesn't like people like you. After saying that, Xianxia directly grabbed little Qi's wrist and pulled her downstairs. Chapter 1066. In the darkness, Xianxia pressed little Qi against the corner of the classroom building. His dangerous eyes stared straight into her eyes. I just left for a while and you're already restless? What does this have to do with me? I'm still in a daze, Mr. Seven quickly explained. Seeing her talk back, Xianxia pecked her lips. I'm very angry. It's not like I can control what others think. Little Qi suddenly lost her confidence. She was afraid that Xianxia would do something even more out of line. In the future, when someone confesses to you, you have to reject them immediately. Do you understand? Xianxia rubbed little Qi's lips with the pad of his finger. You have a family. I got it. Take your hand away. Little Qi straightened her body and whispered. What are you nervous about? Xianxia enjoyed her panic and then pulled her into his arms. Develop well. Pervert. Little Qi blushed and leaned into Xianxia's arms nervously. She knew that this was a school and it was easy for others to discover them, but she was greedy for this moment of happiness. Why did you suddenly come back? Didn't you say you had something to do tonight? If I don't come back, what if you run away with someone else? Xianxia held her hand, gently pushed open the window of the primary school classroom and jumped in with her. Little Qi's heart skipped a beat. This person was really capable of doing anything. However, it had to be said that in that quiet corner, there was only the two of them. This made little Qi feel much more at ease. You have to go back. The old witch wants to find someone, little Qi said carefully in a low voice. Xianxia hugged her and did not let go. The corners of his mouth curled up. Let her find. Or do you really want me to let go? Little Qi did not say anything. Of course, she hoped that the two of them could be alone for a little longer. However, after the two of them stayed quietly for a moment, Xianxia suddenly pushed little Qi and said, Let's go. I'll send you back to the classroom. Didn't you say you weren't going back? Xianxia did not say anything. He left the classroom with little Qi and closed the doors and windows. Little Qi felt that his unpredictable habit seemed to be acting up again. She always did not know what he was thinking. When they reached the classroom, Xianxia pushed little Qi up the stairs. Let's go back. Little Qi frowned and felt a strong sense of loss in her heart. However, she did not ask in detail and returned to the classroom from the back door as if nothing had happened. After making sure that no one had noticed, she sent a message to Xianxia. Why? When Xianxia saw these 3 words, he also wanted to ask himself why. But a moment later, he had a very clear understanding in his mind. This girl was different from all the girls he had ever known. If he wanted a future with little Qi, he had to restrain his frivolous behavior. He didn't want little Qi to follow him to the end. In the past, he clearly wanted to tease her and lead her astray. But now he only hoped that she would become better and better. Because I don't want my wife to get a demerit like me. I'll wait for you at the school gate tonight and send you home. Seeing this answer, little Qi also understood the struggle in his heart. The countless questions and frustrations in his heart had all turned into sweetness and happiness at this moment. Because this gave little Qi an answer. What he cared about was not just the present. What he cared about was their future. This was true liking. Chapter 1067. After returning to the classroom, the tall and thin boy from before moved to little Qi's side again. Was the boy who took you away just now Xianxia? Little Chi was stunned for a moment. She realized that the other party might not have seen He Yanji's face clearly, so she coughed lightly and explained. He Yanji asked for leave, right? He's someone I'm familiar with. When he saw me with a boy, he was afraid that I would be at a disadvantage, so he dragged me out and gave me a good scolding. You better not get close to me. Little brother's temper is too bad. I'm afraid he'll cause trouble for you. The other party was timid to begin with. After being scared like this, he immediately smiled awkwardly and said, I was just joking with you. Don't take it to heart. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine as long as I explain it clearly. Little Chi waved her hand and immediately heaved a sigh of relief. After the class meeting ended, Little Chi grabbed her school bag and walked out. Before the others could walk out of the school gate, she had already stepped onto the back seat of He Yanji's motorcycle. He Yanji looked at her shocking move and quickly asked, Who's chasing you? Aren't we supposed to keep our relationship a secret? If we don't leave now, others will find out. Little Chi quickly said. Think about it. My boyfriend is He Yanji. If others find out, it'll be a little troublesome. He Yanji saw her muttering and smiled dotingly. There's still half an hour. Shall I take you to eat something delicious? My parents didn't say that I have to go home at 9 o'clock. That's your parents. As your boyfriend, I have the obligation to send you home before 9 o'clock. After He Yanji said that, he put on his helmet and took advantage of the fact that there was no one around to carry Little Chi through the streets and alleys. Finally, they arrived at the entrance of a snack shop. Is this it? Little Chi got off the car and saw the tattered signboard. She felt a little creepy and felt that this place was selling human flesh. He Yanji did not answer her. Instead, he went straight into the dessert shop and took out a dessert. Here. Little Chi held it in her hand and was a little surprised. Such a shabby shop can actually make such a cute shape. This is the first piece of cake I've eaten since I came to Jianchuan. On the day my parents got into an accident, I bought dessert here. From then on, I never knew what dessert tasted like, He Yanji explained calmly. There was even a trace of self-deprecation at the corner of his mouth. Because of my gluttony, I avoided the car accident. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Little Chi looked at the dessert in her hand and quickly licked it. Of course I'm lucky. I almost died, so I know that living is the best. He Yanji put down the motorcycle, held Little Chi's hand and took her for a walk on the street. Old illness. What happened? When I was 9, I had a serious illness. Little Chi said casually. I went to the operating table and fainted several times. My mother was so scared that she didn't sleep for a few days. However, I don't really remember what caused it. I can't remember. He Yanji patted Little Chi's head. If you can't remember, then don't think about it. In fact, He Yanji knew that Little Chi's old illness was at the back of her head. Because every time he touched it, he would feel the existence of that scar. This cake is really delicious. No wonder you loved it when you were young. Little Chi took a bite and couldn't stop. Although her mouth was a little cold, it was very sweet in her mouth and heart. Go. I'll send you home. He Yanji put away his tender gaze toward Little Chi. He put his arm around her shoulder and brought her back to the spot where the motorcycle was parked. The children of rich people were really not 100% happy. For example, he and Little Chi. They would give as much as they got. In the darkness, the shadows of the two people were stretched very long. After school tomorrow, I'll take you to meet my friends. Really? Chapter 1068. After returning home, Little Chi sat in the study in a daze. Mu Chi opened the door and saw her. She sat down on her daughter's desk. Do you want me to take a picture of your current expression? Mom. Little Chi glared at her. Don't laugh at me. So why were you in a daze just now? Mu Chi got up from the desk, pulled Little Chi to the sofa and asked. What does it feel like to feel heartache? Then tell me first, how do you feel in your heart? Mu Chi said gently to her daughter. A little sour, a little painful. When I think about what happened to him, I want to give him all the best things. This is what heartache feels like, Mu Chi said to Little Chi seriously. Mu Chi said to Little Chi seriously, my daughter has really grown up. She knows how to love people. Thinking about how she was discussing boys with her mother at this age, Little Chi was still a little embarrassed. Mom, you're not laughing at me in your heart, are you? Mu Chi thought about it and felt a little innocent. Why can't Mommy be your good friend and best friend? Because I'm still too young, After Muchichi heard this, she pulled her into her arms. It's precisely because you're young that feelings are the cleanest and purest. Your mother knows this feeling. Back then, I also carefully liked your father and I encountered many obstacles and objections. But I understand that obstacles and objections can't stop feelings from happening. Since that's the case, why should I avoid it? After all, I don't want my daughter to be unable to enjoy her youth because of these obstacles. Feelings are never right or wrong. What's wrong is a person's choice. After hearing Muchichi's words, little Chi leaned into Muchichi's arms and rubbed against her. You're the best mother in the world. Muchichi deliberately teased her and asked, You don't want to marry your father now? My father is an old fox. I like little wolf dogs. Hey, that's too much. Although you have a new lover, you can't dislike my precious. Muchichi let go of her daughter and patted little Chi's head like Xianxia did. Rest early. I'll go to the company to pick up your father. Got it. If you want to call, do it openly. Don't hide under the covers and hurt your eyes, Muchichi told her daughter before leaving. Little Chi stuck out her tongue at Muchichi. Her mother had seen through this. She really had the best parents in the world. How great would it be if she could share this with Xianxia? I'm taking a shower. Do you want to see? On the other end, Xianxia's voice was low and tempting. I'm taking a shower. Do you want to watch? On the other side of the phone, Xianxia's voice was low and seductive. Who wants to see? Don't you want to see your husband's body sooner or later? Xianxia continued to tease. Little Chi's face turned red from being teased. She shouldn't have felt sorry for this dead gangster. Shao. I said shao to shao, use. Chi, I, you. After saying this, Xianxia laughed even more heartily. Can't the alleys on the street satisfy you anymore? Madam, what I want to say is, don't be sad about your parents passing. I'll be there for you in the future. It was rare for little Chi to interrupt when he was not being serious. Chapter 1069. Without waiting for Xianxia's reaction, little Chi hung up the phone so that this person wouldn't be serious all day long. Xianxia heard the beeping sound and shook his head helplessly. Who would just hang up the phone after saying sweet nothings? But for some reason he suddenly felt that his frozen heart seemed to have signs of cracking. So he touched his heart and closed his eyes in satisfaction. Because of the sports meet, little Chi and the honest Yanjun became good friends. When Xianxia was not in the classroom, little Chi would go to Yanjun's seat to chat. That girl took after her appearance. Because she was gender neutral, she had a handsome side in her bones. She hated small groups of girls the most, and she never schemed against others with other girls. However, because of her gender-neutral attire, it was easy for boys and girls to ignore her. She herself was also very low-key. If it weren't for the sports meet, little Chi felt that she wouldn't have been able to find this friend worth making. There were other girls who had privately tried to rope Yanjun in and asked her to isolate little Chi. However, Yanjun coldly rejected them with one sentence. Jealousy makes people ugly. From that moment on, the relationship between little Chi and Yanjun began to become unusual. During the first class in the morning, Xianxia carried his school bag and walked into the classroom like a bad student. Little Chi thought of what she had said to him last night and couldn't help but feel her cheeks heat up. She felt that she had been too proactive. Did men not cherish her? When Xianxia sat down, he saw his little wife's red face. He immediately asked in confusion, What are you thinking about so early in the morning? I'm not thinking about you. Little Chi obviously didn't mean what she said. Do you think I believe you? Xianxia put down his school bag in amusement and tilted his head to look straight at little Chi. If you didn't think about me, I'll cut off my head and let you sit on it. Little Chi was speechless. She was going to die. It was suddenly so bloody. Little Chi turned her head and ignored this person. During class, the two of them were not as intimate as they were after school. Because in the eyes of others, little Chi was Xianxia's enslaved little brother. Are you looking forward to seeing my friend tonight? While the old witch was in class, Xianxia suddenly wrote a small note to little Chi. Little Chi replied with disdain. Think about it. This is acknowledging your sister-in-law's identity. Seeing this line of words, little Chi replied to Xianxia in a domineering manner. I don't need anyone to acknowledge my identity. When Xianxia saw this, he gave little Qi a thumbs up. If this girl wasn't the daughter of a rich family, she would really be suitable to be a big sister. However, even though they had made an appointment, the two of them were unable to make it. After lunch, Xianxia received a call and left the school. He didn't even say a word to little Qi. During the afternoon class, little Qi looked at the empty seat beside her and felt very upset. But who asked her to fall in love with a hooligan? That afternoon after school, news of Xianxia getting into another fight spread. However, this time it wasn't those little hooligans. Xianxia had really provoked someone he shouldn't have. Little Qi and Yanjun left school together. However, when she heard the news, her face suddenly fell. Yanjun looked at him and asked, "What's going on between you and Xianxia?" Chapter 1070. What do you mean, what's going on? Little Qi's eyes flickered as she spoke vaguely. Come on, all the girls in the school have eyes. Other than you, Xianxia has never bothered with anyone else. The school belle chased after him so much and was humiliated by him. Yet you can be his underling. Why? Even if he can make you his lackey, what about you? I don't believe that you will be ordered around by him. Yanjun knew that the relationship between the two of them was not ordinary. I'm also thinking about what my relationship with him is. Little Qi's tone was filled with confusion and melancholy. Xianxia did dote on her and treated her very well, but every time something happened she had to find out what Xianxia was doing from the rumors. What was this? Why was he fighting again? Didn't he promise her that he would fight less? What was it for this time? Xianxia is a prodigal son. I believe that while all the girls in the school like him, they also have the ambition to save the prodigal son. This is the naivety of women. They think that a person will change for themselves just because they like another person. Are you the same? After hearing Yanjun's words, little Qi looked at her in surprise. You're the same age as me. Are you so interested in relationships? I have 3 brothers at home. I'm already used to it. Yanjun replied disdainfully and then patted little Qi's shoulder. The more unpredictable a person is, the more attractive he is. But if he's ordinary, you won't like him either, right? This is what women are like. After little Qi heard this, she felt that it made sense. She didn't call Xianxia, nor did she take the initiative to contact him. Why did a woman's emotions have to chase after a man? Little Qi did like Xianxia, but she really didn't like the feeling of her emotions being controlled by others. So she went home coolly. Qinghui was a little surprised that little Qi didn't go on a date with that kid today. Thinking about it, his young mistress should be tired of it. However, at 8 o'clock in the evening, little Qi received a call. She picked up her backpack and asked Qinghui to send her to the hospital. What was he trying to do? Little Qi quickly entered the inpatient department of the school's affiliated hospital and saw Xianxia, whose face was bruised and swollen. He was wrapped in gauze and lying on the bed. Around his bed there were a few injured boys sitting there. Little Qi went straight into the ward but was stopped by one of the boys. Where did this little infatuated fool come from? You even chased me all the way to the hospital. Xianxia looked up and immediately shouted, "Are you blind? That's your sister-in-law. Why aren't you moving?" The few of them immediately obeyed the rules and gave their seats to little Qi. Little Qi walked up to Xianxia and immediately poked the back of his red and swollen hand. Why didn't I kill you? It hurts. Leave me some face. Xianxia rubbed her palm, signaling her to calm down. The lackeys looked at each other in dismay. They thought to themselves that young master, he was too lucky. He found such a beautiful sister-in-law. He was going to raise his wife from a young age. Get out, get out. They gestured to each other and moved the ward out for the young couple in the room. When Xianxia saw this, he couldn't help but look at little Qi. After a long time he said, "Although the method is a little special, your identity as sister-in-law has been introduced. Why are you fighting again?" Xianxia thought for a moment. As if he had expected her to ask, he rested his head on his pillow and answered, "Auntie Hong has a son. Because of his intelligence problems he is always bullied. I received a call from Auntie Hong and rushed over. I saw that the other party was forcing him to drink urine. Do you think I can tolerate it? I thought you would be very angry, but I'm really surprised that you're so calm." Little Qi sat down on the chair and looked at Xianxia's face. After pretending, she asked again, "With your injury, you won't be able to go to school for many days, right? Little heartless. Don't worry. Even if your husband doesn't study, he can still get first place. Chapter 1071. Of course I have to be calm because in the future there will be more and more of these things. Little Qi frowned. The words that came out of her mouth sounded like a little old woman. I've always known that we're from two different worlds. Seeing that she was suddenly so serious, Xianxia freed his right hand and held her cheek. Bullsh *T. Don't seduce me and I'm about to escape. No way. Xianxia, don't break up with me. It's only been a few days. Xianxia quickly covered her lips and warned her. I told you before that I can do anything for you, but I can't change the matter of fighting for you now. I need to protect myself and my family. Little Qi saw that he was aggressive and pursed her lips. I didn't want to break up. I just wanted to say, can you tell those hooligans not to hit me in the face every time? Xianxia, why don't you call me next time and I'll go too? Little Qi put down her school bag and took out a plaster from it. I've also trained. It's different from your unorthodox ways. Otherwise, in a few years, I'll have to go to my mother's dissection table to see you. Xianxia, other than winning, you also have to not let yourself get hurt in a fight. Do you understand? He didn't panic, but from Little Qi's firecracker-like words, Xianxia could still hear a strong sense of worry. Therefore he reached out and held Little Qi's warm palm. I'm sorry. What's the use of apologizing to me? Little Qi broke free from his palm in disdain. You're the only one who's sorry. Are you still angry? Little Qi ignored him. She stayed with this person until 9 o'clock. When the alarm clock rang, she immediately picked up her school bag and got up from the chair. You rest by yourself. Xianxia watched as Little Qi left. He wanted to reach out and grab her, but there was a strong sense of powerlessness in his palm. Because so what if he caught Little Qi? Could he promise his wife that he would never fight again in the future? The two of them were born in different environments. At his age, other than using force, he had no better way to protect himself and his family. He had an inheritance, an uncountable inheritance, but he couldn't tell anyone. Because he couldn't attract his second uncle's attention. He couldn't let everything about his parents fall into the hands of his enemies. What else could a 13 or 14-year-old boy rely on to protect his loved ones? Before he had wings, he only had his fists. After Little Qi walked out of the ward, she leaned against the wall and thought carefully about what she wanted at this moment. She didn't even know what she was so uncomfortable about. But he felt uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable. When he got home, he saw Wuxia. Mommy. Wuxia caught her daughter and asked, "What's wrong?" I have some questions that I don't understand. Wuxia knew that the only person who could make her daughter look like this was that brat. She dragged Little Qi into the room. What happened? Little Qi told Wuxia everything that had happened today. I don't know what I'm feeling right now. After Wuxia heard this, she couldn't help but laugh. You're afraid? Little fool, because you know that it's wrong for that brat to fight. One day he might pay the price for it and our family's environment might make you two drift apart. Little Qi was speechless. She hit the bullseye. It was only after she fell in love with Xianxia that she developed all kinds of unknown emotions. Chapter 1072. Daughter, I'm really surprised that you can tell mommy all this. I'm also very surprised at how mature you are. You're not like a normal little girl, crying and throwing a tantrum. Wuxia patted Little Qi's head. With your mother, there's no solution to this kind of thing. There's only one thing, and that's courage. Face whatever you're afraid of. The more afraid you are, the more you have to face it. Although it's wrong for that kid to fight, it's indeed forgivable because that's how he's always lived. In addition, the future of two people doesn't depend on looking at it, but on constantly narrowing the gap between each other and working hard for it. Little Qi listened in a half-hearted manner. In the end, she only asked Wuxia one question. What if my dad was the one who got beaten up? Whoever beat up your dad, I'll definitely return it tenfold. Wuxia gave Little Qi an answer decisively. If you like someone enough and that person is worth it, then there's nothing you can't bear. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Alright Little Qi, it's time to rest. Wuxia did not continue. Her ability to understand emotions was not something that could be stuffed into a person's mind with just a few words. Little Qi also nodded. Thank you, Mommy, for answering my questions. Wuxia patted her head again and finally sighed. I hope mommy isn't harming you by telling you this. Little Qi forced a smile. After Mu Qiqi left, she called He Yanji. What do you want to eat tomorrow? After school I'll bring you. Xiaowan. He Yanji received the call and felt very upset. Hurry up and tell me. Little Qi pretended to be impatient. I want to see you now. I'll press you against the wall and kiss you hard. Little Qi said. No way. In the next life. I'll bring you a nutritious meal tomorrow. So, I'm hanging up. After saying that, Little Qi decisively put down her phone. It was a relationship that had just begun. Since she had tasted the sweetness, she would naturally taste the bitterness. After hearing Mu Qiqi's words, Little Qi thought about it for the whole night. She suddenly understood something. When she fell in love with He Yanji, he was already hopelessly bad. According to her mother, that was He Yanji's way of life. She didn't seem to have the right to dictate He Yanji's lifestyle, even if they were as close as lovers. After thinking it through, Little Qi relaxed a little. In class the next day, although they heard the old witch complaining about He Yanji's leave in class, He Yanji also said that even if he didn't come to class, he would still be first at the end of the term. After school, Little Qi took the thermos to the hospital. When He Yanji saw the person he was thinking about, he couldn't hide the smile on his face. Xiaowen, are you here for me to kiss? You're already like this and you're still not being honest. Little Qi glared at him. After He Yanji heard this, he said calmly, Isn't I the person you like? Good or bad, this is a side of me. Little Qi took out the nutritious meal coldly and placed it in front of him. Who said I like you? I don't know who it was, but 2 days ago she plunged into my arms and loved me so much. Little Qi didn't say anything. He Yanji could tell that she was being awkward, so he took the opportunity to hold her hand and said, I know what you're worried about, but can you believe that I know what I'm doing? Who told me to not be able to resist your temptation and turn you into my wife? I'll take responsibility. Chapter 1073. Little Qi had been thinking a lot for the past few days, so she was immune to He Yanji's teasing. The final exam is coming up soon. Hurry up and get better. Do you want me to be last again? Got it, housekeeper. He Yanji took the nutritious meal and couldn't help but laugh. When I recover, I'll find a small forest and quietly bring you in. Little Qi was speechless. Was this matter very urgent? Was it? In fact, He Yanji had kissed Little Qi twice and it had only been a second. She didn't even have time to taste what it was like to kiss. Speaking of which, she had to wait until she was 16 years old, but she asked herself, could she really wait until then? Just like that, Little Qi went to class during the day and fed He Yanji with all kinds of nourishing things after school. After a while, He Yanji's injuries quickly recovered. During this period of time, the school was also safe and sound. However, without He Yanji, the source of evil, the school lost a lot of the fun of gossip. When will He Yanji be discharged from the hospital? During lunchtime, Yan Zhen and Little Qi sat in the cafeteria and chatted. It's been almost half a month. Soon. Little Qi sighed. In fact, after He Yanji was hospitalized for a week, he had been clamoring to leave the hospital. However, Little Qi had forcefully held him down and asked the doctor to do a comprehensive examination on him. He found that the new and old injuries on his body had been alternating and had never healed. Therefore, Little Qi ordered He Yanji to leave only after the doctor confirmed that he could be discharged from the hospital. He Yanji was already feeling guilty about the fight. Now that he was being controlled by his wife, he did not struggle and went along with Little Qi's wishes. Does He Yanji really have many girlfriends? Little Qi knew that Yan Zhen had a lot of questions, so she put down her bowl and chopsticks and answered her seriously. They're all rumors. So far, I'm the only serious girlfriend he has. Moreover, the first time he held hands, hugged and kissed was all mine. That person likes to disguise himself as a bad person. After Yan Zhen heard this, she nodded in disbelief. I didn't expect He Yanji to be so innocent. How did you win him over? Of course it's because my wife has an interesting soul. The voice that suddenly appeared above their heads made them both stunned at the same time. This person appeared and disappeared mysteriously. Was he trying to scare them to death? Little Qi tilted her head and saw He Yanji's handsome face. She glared at him. Why did you leave the hospital without permission? I'm going to rot. He Yanji looked at Little Qi pitifully. Yan Zhen couldn't help but shiver. She had goosebumps all over her body. As expected of a person in love. It was an eye-opener for her. Xianxia was such a cold and evil person, but in front of little Qi he had such a devoid of love expression. Yanjun instantly felt that her worldview had been overturned. The three of them finished lunch together in the cafeteria, and Xianxia announced his official return to school life. Little Qi saw that he was full of energy in physical education class in the afternoon and finally felt relieved. This person's recovery ability was indeed different from ordinary people. However, just as the first class of the evening self-study session ended, Xianxia sent a text message to little Qi, asking her to go to the garden. Little Qi suddenly remembered what Xianxia had said some time ago. He wanted to drag her into the woods and kiss her to his heart's content. Chapter 1074. When little Qi entered the forest, there was not even a shadow. This was because there was a certain distance from the teaching building of the junior high school department. During the 10-minute break between classes, especially at night, no one came to stroll around. Little Qi thought that Xianxia was playing with her. Just as she was about to make a phone call, a hand suddenly reached out from the tree beside her and pulled her over. Little Qi was forced to lean against the tree while Xianxia looked at her sideways with his arm propped up. "Don't get so close to me." Little Qi was a little panicked. Xianxia couldn't help but laugh. "You're usually so eloquent, but when it comes to times like this you're so timid. It's so late at night. Who knows why you called me over?" Little Qi lay on his arm and muttered. "What else can I do? Of course it's a kiss." Before he could finish his sentence, a light suddenly lit up in the forest. Xianxia quickly pulled little Qi into his arms, pressed her head and hid her face so that no one could see it. A student passed by and heard the commotion. He thought that something had happened and turned on the flashlight on his phone fearlessly. However, Xianxia scolded him, "Are you looking for a beating?" When the other party saw that Xianxia was actually hugging a girl, his hands trembled in fear and he quickly turned off the flashlight. Oh my God. Previously, there had been rumors in the school that Xianxia had gotten a girl pregnant. After all, no one had really seen it. But this time, someone had seen Xianxia hugging a girl with their own eyes. No one knew who it was. After the boy left, little Qi immediately said in a muffled voice, "The whole school is going to be talking about it again. It's all your fault. You made me come to the forest." Xianxia let go of little Qi and smiled slightly. "There are a lot of rumors about your husband. Besides, I'm hugging my wife. Who would dare to say anything?" "Then should we go back now?" Little Qi asked again. "You go first. I'll be back later." Xianxia pushed little Qi out. The night covered little Qi's hot cheeks. She suppressed her wildly beating heart and walked out of the forest. It was not for anything else, but because Xianxia's subconscious action to protect her just now made her smile uncontrollably. Soon Xianxia also returned to the classroom. The two of them acted as if nothing had happened and finally waited until school was over. "I haven't seen my dad for a few days. I won't go home with you tonight." When little Qi left the school, she texted Xianxia, "Okay, be careful on the road." Xianxia rode on the motorcycle and looked at his empty back seat. This little girl must have deliberately left to avoid suspicion. It seemed that the small forest was really dangerous and exciting. As expected, the next day at school, the whole school knew about Xianxia hugging a girl in the garden. The boys were jealous and the girls were envious. He didn't know which girl was so lucky to attract Xianxia's attention. One had to know that Xianxia was not even willing to give the role of the school belle to play with. Yanzhen heard the rumors and asked little Qi before class started, "Did you know that Xianxia was caught hugging a girl yesterday? Can you not mention this?" Little Qi blushed. Yanzhen laughed when she saw that. "Did you go into the woods yesterday? How audacious. Who knew that place would be so dangerous?" Little Qi coughed lightly. "By the way, you and Xianxia, how far have you progressed?" Chapter 1075. Hug, kiss, burp. Little Qi immediately covered Yanzhen's mouth. "Keep your voice down, then tell me," Yanzhen asked. After all, who could resist the temptation of such gossip? "Just kiss, hug and raise me high," Little Qi summarized concisely. Little Qi concluded concisely. "It's not what you think between us. We're very well behaved, okay?" Xianxia really doesn't seem like a person who follows the rules. "That's because you don't understand him," Little Qi replied in her heart. There were not many people in this world who could truly understand Xianxia. Of course, he didn't care what others thought of him. The two of them gossiped for a long time, but until the first class, little Qi still didn't see Xianxia. He was fine yesterday, but she didn't know what he was doing today. Little Qi took out her phone to call Xianxia, but his phone was turned off. Thinking of what he had said about Auntie Hong's son, could it be that the other party knew that he had recovered and was discharged from the hospital, so he came to seek revenge? Thinking of this possibility, little Qi's heart was a little confused. If she had known, she would have left Auntie Hong's phone number. That way she would be able to know Xianxia's situation at any time. Finally, school was over. Little Qi immediately carried her school bag and went to Xianxia's house. However, his door was tightly shut. She didn't know where Auntie Hong and Grandma He had gone. Thinking of this, little Qi went to the billiard hall again. When the owner of the billiard hall saw little Qi, he hurriedly came up and said, "Grand-aunt, why are you here all of a sudden? Can't I come? Is Xianxia here?" Little Qi asked straightforwardly. "You're just a little girl. Don't worry about these things. Go home and rest." How could the owner of the billiard hall dare to tell little Qi the truth? Looking at the owner's expression, he did know where Xianxia was now. "Tell me. I have bodyguards to protect me. Maybe I can help him." Little Qi showed Qing Hui to the boss. The boss deliberated for a moment and finally told Mu Qiqi, "Last time, young master, he saved someone. He offended a popular person in the underworld. That big brother named him to make young master he suffer. Now the two sides are arranged to fight. It's behind this mountain." After little Qi heard this, she turned to look at Qing Hui. "Sco. Miss, what are you afraid of?" Little Qi's tone was calm. She looked exactly the same as her father. They both had a fearless temper. Soon little Qi and Qing Hui rushed to the back mountain and saw that it was filled with people fighting. Xianxia was among them. His methods were wild and ruthless. He did not give his opponent a chance at all. However, Xianxia only brought 5 people with him and the other party had more than 20 people. They were outnumbered. After a long time, Xianxia and the others were at a disadvantage. "Uncle Hui, you pick 10, I'll pick 5. "Sure," Qing Hui answered in a heroic tone. "But if you ask, push it to me," little Qi said bluntly. Xianxia quickly saw little Qi's figure and frowned. Xianxia's lackey also said, "Young master, he isn't that sister-in-law? Why are you causing trouble at this time?" "Who told you that she's here to cause trouble?" Xianxia covered his arm and looked at the little girl not far away. In the next second, little Qi used her agility that surprised everyone present to throw a 17 or 18-year-old youth to the ground. Chapter 1076. Wow! Xianxia's companions were so surprised that their eyeballs almost fell out. As expected of my wife. Xianxia suddenly became energetic. With little Qi and Qing Hui joining the battlefield, the 20 or so people were soon beaten to a pulp. Seeing a group of people sitting on the ground and wailing, little Qi immediately grabbed one of her lackeys and warned, "If you're still not convinced, come to the Xing family to settle the score. I'll get the martial arts champion behind me to brainwash you." An 11 or 12-year-old little girl had actually learned her father's aura to the fullest. Perhaps it was because of his defensive awareness. In a moment of desperation, the man who was being pulled by little Qi took out a dagger from his ankle and slashed at little Qi's neck. When Xianxia saw this, he immediately blocked it. The sharp blade immediately cut Xianxia's arm, revealing a hideous bloody wound. Little Qi held Xianxia's arm and slapped the man in the face. The force was so heavy that the man fainted. It was the skill of a martial artist. When the others saw that little Qi was angry and that she was a member of the Xing family, they immediately felt fear. The leader of the gangsters immediately led his lackeys away as if they were running for their lives. The battlefield was quickly cleaned up. When Xianxia saw this scene, he threw away the wooden stick in his hand and really experienced a hero saving a damsel in distress. However, he was the one who was saved. "Sister-in-law is so cool. Young master, why didn't you say so earlier?" "That's right. He's too cool. She's a hero among women. I didn't expect sister-in-law to save us in the end. Young master, devote yourself to her and thank her on our behalf." The few of them chattered non-stop in Xianxia's ears. At this moment, little Qi straightened her body and glared at Xianxia. "I can react. Who asked you to block it?" He Yanji covered his arm and looked at his wife. The corners of his mouth curled up. I believe that you can block it, but this is a natural reaction of my body. It's exactly the same as when I want to kiss you. I can't control it either. Little Qi was speechless. Soon they left the battlefield. Along the way, He Yanji's companions kept clamoring to learn orthodox combat techniques from Qing Hui. In the end, they were thrown back to their respective homes by He Yanji. When there were only 3 people left in the car, He Yanji suddenly said to little Qi, "Put me by the beach. This will scare Grandma. Actually, the wound isn't deep." Little Qi looked at his bloody arm and turned to Qing Hui. "Uncle Hui, find a small clinic." "Yes, Mississippi." He Yanji knew that little Qi was still sulking, so he didn't struggle anymore. "Yesterday you were fighting with people from school. Now you're fighting with gangsters. In a few days you might be dead on the streets." Little Qi raised his arm to disinfect it as she muttered, "Must we take this path?" He Yanji sat on the simple bed with one leg and looked down at little Qi, who was burying her head. "I have no choice, Xiaowan. I used to be polite. Even if I was willing to be humble, the other party wouldn't let me go. All these years I've been walking between bullying and being bullied. I'm already used to it. Why?" Little Qi didn't understand why these people were so keen on finding trouble with him. He Yanji paused for a moment. Finally, he lowered his head and laughed at himself. "Because I have a second uncle who can't wait for me to die on the streets." He Yanji only said half of what he said, and little Qi only listened to half of it. She had no intention of revealing other people's scars. "I've been trying my best to endure it. Until I reach adulthood." Chapter 1077. The birth of some people meant that they were destined not to be able to live like ordinary people. He Yanji looked at little Qi with a complicated expression. This was the most serious expression little Qi had ever seen on He Yanji. Little Qi did not say anything. At this moment, He Yanji suddenly leaned over and kissed little Qi on the lips. "Treat it as a painkiller." Little Qi raised her head without any thoughts. "I don't know how to treat you now. I'll hire a bodyguard for you and bring you into the Xing family's sphere of influence. You definitely won't want to, but I can't just stand by and watch. I'm not good or bad to you." He Yanji looked at little Qi's complicated expression and suddenly pulled her into his arms. "Just like this, it's very good." With a hug, little Qi could no longer speak. "I'm with you because I want you to be happy. If you're with me and there's only heaviness left, then I will be the one who doesn't know what to do. Do you know? Silly girl." He Yanji took the opportunity to rub little Qi's head. "I don't want you to always get hurt." "I know. I'll solve this matter," He Yanji promised her. Little Qi still wanted to ask him how he could guarantee it, but He Yanji suddenly put his finger on little Qi's lips. Are you some little old woman?" Little Qi raised her fist and hammered his chest. "I don't care about you anymore." She was at loggerheads again. He Yanji smiled as he watched little Qi leave the clinic. She was just too cute and didn't know it. But soon he put away his playful expression and took out his phone to call Auntie Hong. He asked her to comfort his grandmother that he was going to do something that night. Then he went to the billiard hall and asked the very popular curator to contact the big brother in the underworld for him. "Young Master He, are you really going to meet him? You have to know that this is not a small fight. Something goes wrong." The curator was a little worried. After all, that was a gangster who would really eat people, not an ordinary primary school student playing around. "Boss, just make the appointment for me." He Yanji's tone was very calm, as if he had made a lot of preparations. The boss shook his head and could only compromise. "I can't do anything to you. I can't do anything to her." He Yanji sat on the billiard table and said to himself, "Forget it, I've indeed been muddle-headed in the past, always thinking that tomorrow will be the same. Why should I care who I offended today?" But now that he was with Xiaowan, he actually fantasized that he was just an ordinary student and had a sweet campus relationship with the little girl. After little Qi returned home, she locked herself in her room, not knowing what to do. She was afraid that one day He Yanji would really die on the streets. He wouldn't even have the chance to say goodbye to her. She couldn't imagine what kind of hell He Yanji was living in. She only knew that the more she thought about it, the more she couldn't let him go. Master Xiao found out from Qing Hui what had happened in school that day. No, it should be said that little Qi had fought. However, he did not show any displeasure. Qing Hui was a little surprised. If it were any other parent, they would have torn Xianxia apart long ago, but Xiao did not. He directly called little Qi into the study. The father and daughter had a heart-to-heart talk again. Dad, I know what you want to ask, but Dad can't give you an answer. However, I have a feeling that that kid has the ability to deal with things, Master Xiao answered without changing his expression. Chapter 1078. The owner of the billiard hall made an appointment for Xianxia. The other party directly asked Xianxia to meet him at the largest nightclub in Jianchuan, the imperial court. That was naturally not a good place. Jianchuan was famous for being chaotic. Xianxia got the other party's number, thanked the boss and turned to go home. The owner of the billiard hall could not bear it, but he still grabbed Xianxia's arm and said softly, "If there's anything, just call me. Don't worry." Xianxia smiled and quickly disappeared into the darkness. Why could Xianxia be the king here? Because in the past 2 years Xianxia had fought many times for the boss. Those who were dishonest, those who found trouble on credit, and those who had bullied the boss were all beaten up by Xianxia. Therefore in the boss's heart he was like a younger brother. He did not know if helping him this time was the right thing to do. With his injuries, Xianxia went to a friend's house to change into a set of black clothes. It was clearly a very ordinary shirt, but when Xianxia wore it, it gave off a very noble aura. If he wanted to go to a nightclub, he naturally had to dress up mature. At least no one could tell that he was still underage. Young master, you used to be the young master of a rich family, right? No matter how I look at you, you're different from ordinary people like us. Xianxia patted the other party's head and smiled. The Princess of England is my aunt. Do you believe it? The other party shook his head. I don't believe it either. After tilting his head, Xianxia went out with his injuries and rode his motorcycle to the largest nightclub in Jianchuan. At this moment the nightclub was bustling with noise. Xianxia stopped the motorcycle and went straight to the front desk. I'm looking for Brother Nan. The other party glanced at Xianxia and shook his head. I'm sorry, sir. If you don't have an appointment. After Xianxia heard this, he took out his gold card and said to the two of them, give me a bottle of Lafite and treat your Brother Nan. Is that okay? The two receptionists looked at each other, but they were used to the world and did not dare to offend him. They invited Xianxia to the VIP room and then went to ask for the so-called Brother Nan. After a while, a man in a suit arrived at the VIP room with 2 bodyguards. When he saw Xianxia, he could not help but laugh. I didn't expect a kid like you to really dare to come. Do you know where this is? Kid, how dare you call me Lafite? Who gave you the guts? Brother Nan, can you write off your little brother's matter? Xianxia took the opportunity to state his purpose for coming. Kid, do you know who you're talking to? I'll beat you up if I want to. The man laughed so hard that his shoulders were shaking. For a second he even felt like he was bullying a little kid. Brother Yang has 3 fierce generals in his hands. Over the years, the people in the underworld have been terrified of him. However, gradually there has been a rift between Brother Nan and his other brothers. Because of his straightforward personality, he always suffers losses in front of Brother Yang. The other 2 big shots are now rising in power. Only you are hiding in the imperial court. Are you willing to do that? After hearing Xianxia's words, the other party was stunned. She looked at Xianxia in surprise. How do you know about our internal strife? Who are you? I'm just a hooligan. If Brother Nan is willing to give me peace and let the previous matter be written off, I'm willing to offer my plan and let Brother Nan vent his anger in front of Brother Yang. Xianxia was extraordinarily calm. He was clearly only a teenager, but the words he said were full of temptation. People could not help but want to believe him. Chapter 1079. You mean you want me to listen to you? Brother Nan pointed at his nose and smiled disdainfully. You'd better wash up and go home to sleep. You haven't even grown your hair yet. I know that you've been fighting for the territory in the east of the city recently, and you've already fought several times. I have a solution here. It's written in your nightclub's suggestion book. If you're interested, you can go take a look. After saying that, Xianxia got up from the scarlet sofa. If the solution works, contact me again. Do you want to write off the previous matter? The other party obviously didn't believe him, but his eyes couldn't help but look at the coffee table. With just a glance, the person called Brother Nan said to his subordinate, Go and drag that kid back. Of course, Yanji couldn't go far because he expected the other party to pull him back. His attitude was completely different from before. At this moment, Brother Nan welcomed him with a smile. I really didn't expect you to have such courage and boldness at such a young age. I promise you, as long as I can win, not to mention writing off the previous debt, I can give you whatever you want. What did Yanji want? It was just peace. He didn't want to be covered in injuries and cause trouble. Half an hour later, Yanji came out of the imperial court. Brother Nan personally sent him off. It could be seen that Brother Nan was very satisfied with Yanji's solution. Brother Nan, do you really believe this kid? The subordinate couldn't help but ask when he saw how familiar Brother Nan was. What do you know? This kid is simply a prodigy. Pass down the order. In the future, whoever sees this kid has to be respectful. Little Chi was worried for most of the night because she really didn't know if Yanji's so-called he would deal with it, was just taking a knife to someone else's territory to fight. Therefore, in the middle of the night, she couldn't help but call Yanji. A moment later, Yanji picked up the phone and smiled happily. Xiaowan, you always have a way to call me when I'm bathing. It's good that you're alive. Little Chi heard his annoying voice and hung up the phone in annoyance. Yanji looked blankly at the phone that was beeping. His expression was doting and helpless. He was clearly worried. The next day, Little Chi arrived at school early in the morning and found that Yanji was already sleeping soundly on the table as usual. Seemed that he was really fine. Little Chi quietly sat down beside him, but the next second her right hand was grabbed by someone under the table. Let go, the old witch is here. Little Chi struggled. Yanji squeezed a few more times before letting go in satisfaction. Little Chi stared at the person lying on the ground and asked in a low voice, has the matter really been resolved? From now on, I'll accompany you shopping and watching movies. There won't be any more trouble. Yanji propped himself up and answered her seriously. Little Chi didn't know what methods he had used, but she knew that Yanji didn't like to go back on his word. Teach me how to ride a motorcycle first. Little Chi immediately turned into a wild girlfriend and ordered fiercely, also, you must get first place in the final exam. Yanji made a gesture of obedience. Yes, my lord. Little Chi looked at Yanji's expression and was still faintly worried. What had he paid for this piece? Even if she was his girlfriend, there were still so many secrets hidden in Yanji's heart. Chapter 1080. 3 days later, Brother Nan called Yanji. He hadn't been as happy as he was now for several years because Yanji's plan was really effective. It allowed him to hold his head high in front of Brother Yang for once. Brother Nan asked Yanji what he wanted. When the big boss was in a good mood, he wanted to give him something. However, Yanji rejected Brother Nan's good intentions. He only asked Brother Nan to ensure the peace of their family and keep his identity a secret. In exchange, Yanji could offer his plan to the big boss from time to time. Little he, how about this? I'll send someone to send you a black card. In the future, as long as you're in my territory, all your expenses will be on me. Yanji leaned against the motorcycle with a slightly helpless expression. Okay. Then it's a deal. Yanji hung up the phone and looked at Little Chi, who was not far away. She was riding the motorcycle in a dignified manner. A moment later, she returned to his side excitedly. I'm a fast learner, right? Yanji looked at the motorcycle she had put down. It was a second-hand product that the curator did not use. Seeing that her body was covered in oil stains, Yanji pulled her onto the back seat of the motorcycle and reminded her calmly, sit tight. Where are we going? Little Chi quickly held his shoulder and asked. I'm going to buy you something you like. After saying that, Yanji sped up and brought Little Chi to the 4S motorcycle shop. When they arrived at the entrance of the shop, Little Chi immediately grabbed Yanji's arm and said, There's no need. Yanji laughed. Then he held Little Chi's palm and said, I just want to change to a comfortable back seat. What are you thinking? Little Chi was speechless. She thought that this bastard was going to bring her to buy a new motorcycle. Are you messing with me? Yanji's lips curled into a beautiful arc and he explained, I don't know that you don't want to have anything to do with money. You're afraid that your rich identity will hurt my self-esteem. However, you really don't have to be so sensitive. Although your husband isn't the richest man in Zhenchuan, he's not poor either. Moreover, at your age, I'll at most give you summer homework. Do you think I'll give you a motorcycle? Little Chi's face couldn't help but turn red. He was always teased by this bastard. And the real reason why I didn't buy it for you is because if you have your own motorcycle, who's going to hold my waist? Let's go in and find a place to rest. I'll ask the boss to modify it. Little Chi went to the rest area of the shop in a bad mood and sat down on the sofa casually. Seriously, you look so good even when you're angry. Xianxia took off his gloves and asked the boss, does the shop have Kinduk 390? We're out of stock. The boss shook his head. It doesn't matter. I'm not in a hurry. Let me know when the goods arrive, Xianxia said in a low voice. Give your sister away. Could she ride it? It's still so young. The boss glanced at Little Chi and frowned at Xianxia. Book it. Xianxia didn't care. When it was her birthday or other good days, he would take it out and give it to her. Sure, leave me your contact address later. I'll inform you when the goods arrive. Xianxia nodded slightly. Without waiting for Ming Chi to know, he left the address of the tiny banyan courtyard. He imagined that one day the little girl would ride a brand new motorcycle and go cross-country with him in the mountains. That feeling would definitely be wonderful. In just an hour, the boss of the 4S shop had indeed given Xianxia a more comfortable back seat. After the two of them played for an entire day, the sky gradually darkened. Let's go. I'll send you home. Little Chi sat on the new cushion. Her butt was indeed much more comfortable, but she still did not forget to hug Xianxia's waist tightly. However, before getting out of the car, Little Chi threw out a bomb. Do you want to go to my house for dinner? Chapter 1081. Xianxia stopped the motorcycle and turned his head slightly. He looked at Little Chi with a faint smile. Are you in a hurry to see your parents? Auntie Hong called me and said that there's no one at home. Little Chi snorted disdainfully. After Xianxia was seriously injured, she had asked Auntie Hong for her phone number. However, she knew in her heart that it was a little abrupt to ask, so she added, It's okay if you don't go. Xianxia chuckled and did not answer. When they reached the entrance of the banyan courtyard, he turned to Little Chi and said, Let's wait until I have the confidence to meet your parents. See, who cares? Actually, Little Chi had already expected this. Go back and rest early. Don't wander around. Xianxia really wanted to drag her into a small alley and kiss her to her heart's content. However, this was the territory of the Shen and Xing families. If he was not careful, he would be poked into a hornet's nest by the two families. It was better to wait until the dead of night when there was no one around to do these naughty plans. The two of them said goodbye at the door. After seeing Little Chi return home with his own eyes, Xianxia returned home. However, when he opened the door, he realized that something did not seem right at home. A few rooms had been turned upside down, but nothing was missing. The thief who came in was quite unlucky because there was nothing in his house. Xianxia quickly forgot about this matter. Soon it was time for the final exam. Xianxia promised Little Chi that as long as she could maintain her second place, he would take her out to play for a few days during the summer vacation. Little Chi was filled with joy when she agreed. After all, she was already used to big scenes. Now she was very interested in the things Xianxia took her to play. However, would Master Xiao and her mother have any objections if she wanted to go out for a few days? This was the Xing family's treasure. Although Little Chi was free, she had never left her parents' side. Now Xianxia wanted to take their daughter away? Even Little Chi herself couldn't tell her father about this. She definitely couldn't lie, but she couldn't tell the truth. She was going out to play with a boy, especially with Xianxia. However, a week after the exam, Xianxia took Little Chi away. That night, the two of them had just received their results. Xianxia rode his motorcycle to the banyan courtyard and called Little Chi. Come out, I'll take you to play. Little Chi greeted Mama Xing and went out. Unexpectedly, Xianxia took her on a motorcycle for 3 hours. Seeing that the place was getting more and more remote, Little Chi's heart was pounding. Where are you taking me? Sell it for a good price. Xianxia said loudly. Stop teasing me, I'm scared. Little Chi pinched the flesh on his waist and said, Let's go to Aunt Hong's hometown. I'll take you to the countryside to be a wild child, a mountain king. But my parents, have you ever seen a bad guy kidnap someone? Do you have to tell them beforehand? Xianxia laughed loudly. Little Chi's face turned pale. This was the first time she had been scared by him. When they arrived at their destination, Little Chi got out of the car and kicked his foot. Send me back. My mother can't take it anymore. He Yanji took the opportunity to hook his arm around her neck and became serious. I've asked your father. Otherwise would I dare to kidnap Master Zhao's daughter? I don't believe it. Little Qi continued to struggle. He Yanji was helpless. He took out his phone and handed it to Little Qi. Here, call him yourself. Little Qi took the phone and looked surprised. You talked to my dad on the phone? Chapter 1082. Before He Yanji could answer, Little Qi had already seen Qing Hui waving at her from the field. This person had arrived earlier and was followed by a group of little kids. With Qing Hui around, Little Qi believed that unless Master Xiao gave the order, He Yanji would not be able to take her away. Therefore she returned the phone to He Yanji. She was still very curious about what He Yanji had said to Master Xiao and how the two of them had communicated. However, He Yanji's expression was mysterious. It seemed that he did not intend to tell Little Qi this little story. As a man, he naturally had to be open and aboveboard. He Yanji had long seen through Master Zhao's character, so on the night before the results came out, he waited outside Zhongting. He did not ask the front desk to inform him and waited at the door for 2 hours. It was not until he saw Master Zhao's car coming out of Zhongting that he went forward and bowed. Master Xiao rolled down the window and his eyes were sharp. What's the matter? Tomorrow I want to take Xiao Wan to the village for a few days. I hope I can get your permission. Xing Xiao did not say anything. He looked He Yanji up and down. 2 seconds later he said, approved. Then he rolled up the window. President, why do you indulge this child so much? Su Che asked as he drove. He was really puzzled. Because he has restraint that most adults don't have, Xing Xiao replied indifferently. If it were any other 14-year-old child, it would be fine if he kidnapped your daughter. It would be fine if he just explained that he was playing. It was more likely that he would evade and shirk responsibility. However, He Yanji came directly to Xing Xiao and waited downstairs for 2 hours. He did not deliberately disturb him and waited patiently for his prey. Master Xiao felt that there was no need for him to worry about his daughter's safety. He Yanji did this because he could bear all the responsibility. After that, Xing Xiao asked Qing Hui to help Little Qi pack her things and settle her down in advance. He also asked Qing Hui to pass his number to He Yanji. His daughter was indeed used to seeing pearls and diamonds outside, but she did not have the chance to experience the simplicity of the countryside. To her, this was indeed a rare experience. Young master, you really brought Miss Xing here. There's nothing good here. Auntie Hong was a little troubled. Auntie Hong's house was a very simple courtyard located on a lake. Little Qi had never seen these things before, so it was naturally very fresh. Auntie Hong, she eats whatever we eat. She's not that spoiled. He Yanji put down his luggage and looked at his grandmother. Grandma, do you like this? Grandma, he nodded, waving the palm leaf fan in her hand. She was very satisfied. This place is more comfortable than the big city, with green mountains and clear waters. Far away from the hustle and bustle, I've decided to move here with Aunt Hong. He Yanji had the same intention. He would spend some money to renovate this place and then find a few people to guard the house. It was a good place to retire. However, he would not be able to see his only family often. I know why you asked Auntie Hong to bring me here. Now that you're getting older, your second uncle will definitely find all sorts of ways to make trouble for you. Grandma understands that you'll feel uneasy with me around. Grandma, I will bring Xiao Wan back to visit you often, He Yanji said to Grandma as he looked at Little Qi, who was fishing in the distance. Xiao Wan is really a handsome child. Grandma, he looked at Little Qi on the other side of the river and beamed. If I work hard, I might be able to wait until you guys get married. Go accompany Xiao Wan. Chapter 1083. At this moment, Little Qi was focused on Qing Hui fishing. Uncle Hui, it seems like you like this kind of rural life very much. Of course. Your Uncle Hui was also a wild child who grew up by the river. Qing Hui was very happy fishing. He really didn't know if he was here to protect Little Qi or if he was here for a vacation. Little Qi waited for a long time. Seeing that the fish hadn't taken the bait, she got up and looked for He Yanji. She found that he was actually taking off his clothes in the room. Pervert. Little Qi quickly covered her eyes, but He Yanji grabbed her and pressed her against the wall. Is this the first day you know that I'm bad? Little Qi's ears instantly turned red and she tilted her head. Why are you taking off your clothes in broad daylight? Of course, to bully you. Xianxia took the opportunity to kiss her forehead and then held her hand. Don't be nervous. Grandma's ring fell into the water. I'm just going to fish it up for her. You only know how to tease me all day long. Little Qi was angry and wanted to bite Xianxia's arm. What a little tigress. Xianxia endured the pain and rubbed Little Qi's hair. After she vented, he asked, Do you like it here? You can barbecue here at night and you can lie on the chair and watch the moon. What else can I do? I can also kiss you secretly. Xianxia teased Little Qi for a while. Then he swaggered to the lake, leaving Little Qi alone with a flushed face. After a quarter of an hour, Little Qi calmed down and returned to the courtyard. She found that the courtyard was filled with laughter. Xianxia had already fished out Grandma's ring and was fiddling with his hair. Xiaowen, come here. Xianxia sat on a stool and shouted at Little Qi. Little Qi glared at him, but she still walked to his side and naturally took the towel. She stood behind him and dried his hair. You really have the potential to be a good wife and mother. Little Qi covered his head with the towel and rubbed it fiercely. You bully me. Not far away, Qinghui had fished up dinner for a few people. Soon, only Little Qi and Xianxia were left in the huge courtyard. Do you like it here? Little Qi tilted her head and looked at Xianxia. However, his messy hair did not damage his noble aura. Fighting all the time, I rarely enjoy peace like this. Xianxia chuckled. The children who grew up here don't have any ulterior motives. They're very simple and happy. How about it? Do you like it? Little Qi nodded. It's very fresh. The air here seems sweet. That's because I'm here, my wife. Xianxia laughed heartily. I'll take you to experience farm work tomorrow. She didn't know why, but every day with Xianxia seemed to be full of novelty and anticipation. That night, Little Qi slept in a room alone, while Xianxia and Uncle Qing slept in the same room. However, before midnight, Little Qi heard a knock on the door. Little Qi carefully got up and opened the door. Then Xianxia pressed her against the door. You're very bold, aren't you? How dare you open the door? Why didn't Uncle Hui break your legs? Little Qi pouted. Let's go, I'll take you out to sleep. Little Qi's heart instantly raced. Could it be Xianxia? As it turned out, she was overthinking because Xianxia had set up a camping tent in the yard. Then Xianxia pointed at the tent and said to Little Qi, Sleep inside tonight and watch the sunrise tomorrow morning. What about you? Little Qi asked as she got into the tent. What do you think? Xianxia asked naughtily. Chapter 1084. I said you won't come in at all. After getting to know him for the past few days, Little Qi was confident that Xianxia only liked to take advantage of her with his mouth, but he didn't have any dirty thoughts in his mind. Xianxia chuckled and covered Little Qi's head with the blanket on the rocking chair. He hugged her head and kissed it hard. Then he said, It's your first time in the wilderness. It's inevitable that you'll be scared. I'll keep watch for you. As expected, Little Qi took off the blanket on her head and curled up in the tent to sleep peacefully. The young man outside the door sat on the rocking chair with a cattail leaf fan and chased away the mosquitoes for most of the night. Actually, Xianxia had too many things he wanted to do to Little Qi, but it wasn't time yet. Even kissing and hugging her sometimes felt like a kind of blasphemy. Life in the countryside was very pleasant. Little Qi and Xianxia stayed in the small courtyard for 3 whole days. In these 3 days, Little Qi had seen what it meant to be truly natural and simple. Moreover, she could now accurately distinguish the 5 grains and miscellaneous grains. The morning they returned to Jianchuan, Xianxia rode his motorcycle and said goodbye to Grandma He with Little Qi. This was because from today onwards, Xianxia was prepared to face the storms of Jianchuan alone. During the holidays, Xianxia worked part-time in a bookstore. When he was resting, he would ride his motorcycle off-road in the mountains with Little Qi. That year's summer vacation was Little Qi's happiest days. Soon Jianchuan High School welcomed the start of the new semester. Little Qi and Xianxia had agreed to report to the school one after another. However, in the 2 days of school, Little Qi did not see Xianxia. She had called Xianxia, but he did not answer. Instead, he replied to a text message and said that he was visiting his grandmother in the village. Since that was the case, Little Qi did not ask further. However, on the day of school, Little Qi still did not see Xianxia. Therefore, Little Qi had been absent-minded the whole day. When Yanzhen saw that, she took the opportunity to ask her after class, Where's he Yanji? Little Qi shook her head in confusion. In fact, she had a premonition that every time he Yanji disappeared without saying goodbye, he was in trouble. What about this time? Isn't he your boyfriend? You're not contacting him? Little Qi couldn't answer anything. She had been so happy during this period of time that her vigilance had deteriorated. It had been a long time since he Yanji had fought. Little Qi was touched by Yanjin's question, so she didn't wait for school to end. On the first day of school she left early and went to He Yanji's house, but it was empty. Little Qi called Qing Hui again and asked him to send her to the countryside. However, Qing Hui, who had always doted on her, did not agree this time. Miss, school has already started. Master Xiao told me not to take you away from Jianchuan. Why? Little Qi asked Qing Hui. The more Xing Xiao was like this, the more she felt that something was wrong. Suddenly she panicked. Miss, you should listen to Master Zhao's arrangements. Little Qi was not the kind of child who was obedient. In fact, she had her own opinions on some things. She went straight to the billiard hall and asked the owner to borrow his old motorcycle. Relying on her memory, she rode to Aunt Hong's hometown. After 3 whole hours she entered the familiar village. However, the small courtyard that was originally built on the lake had already been reduced to ashes. Chapter 1085. Little Qi found it unbelievable. She quickly grabbed the nearby neighbor and asked, Auntie, where's that family? The plump auntie glanced at Little Qi and quickly shook her head. She sighed. A few days ago a few men came. They stabbed Xiao Hong and burned the house. The fire burned for a day and a night before it stopped. I wonder if old Madam He has also turned into ashes. Have you seen He Yanji? The auntie shook her head. I saw him once the day before yesterday. It was very hurried and I haven't seen him since. Little Qi was stunned on the spot. At this moment her emotions were extremely complicated. She felt that she would never see He Yanji again, but she also felt that He Yanji would definitely contact her again. It was just that it was not safe now. Little Qi squatted on the ground and dialed He Yanji's number over and over again. However, the system kept reminding her that the number she had dialed was no longer in the service area. Little Qi squatted on the old site of the courtyard for most of the day. It was not until late at night that Qing Hui drove over to pick her up. Miss, let's go home. Little Qi raised her head in a sorry state and asked Qing Hui, did you already know? I only got the news early in the morning, Qing Hui answered Little Qi seriously. Miss, it's the gang seeking revenge. He Yanji's whereabouts are unknown. Master Xiao has already sent people to look for him, but there's no sign of him. During this period of time he hasn't provoked anyone from the gang. Only that brat knows the answer to this question. Qing Hui helped Little Qi up. If you don't want Madam to worry, come back with me. Little Qi really wanted to stay here and wait because she had a strong premonition that after leaving this place, she would never see He Yanji again. She really wanted to know what kind of situation He Yanji was in now. Was Grandma He okay? However, she also knew that if she stayed here, her family would only worry. Uncle Hui, I rarely beg you, but this time I beg you to do your best to find out about Grandma He for me. I want to know if Grandma He is still safe. She's He Yanji's only family in the world. If Grandma He is gone, I don't know how he will live. Qing Hui looked into Little Qi's eyes and nodded solemnly. Miss, don't worry. Even if you don't say it, Master Xiao will do it. Little Qi didn't say anything else and walked straight to her car. Before she left, she took a look at the ruins. For some reason she felt that once she left, the string in her heart would be broken. After returning to Jianchuan, Little Qi did not go to school for 3 days in a row. She searched the streets and alleys of Jianchuan for the person called He Yanji, but there was no news of him. He disappeared very cleanly as if he had never appeared. If it weren't for the bracelet on her hand, Little Qi would have really thought that she was having a romantic dream. 3 days later, someone sent a motorcycle home. Little Qi recognized this brand. She and He Yanji had been there before. So when she saw the owner, she grabbed his and asked, He, this. When I said she, he, xiao, xiao, zhao's, he, she, chi, he. And said he and said. Looking at the brand new motorcycle, Little Qi's heart surged. She slowly squatted on the ground and muttered to herself, I don't ask you to show up. I just want to know if you're alive. Looking at the brand new motorcycle, little Chi's heart surged wildly. She slowly squatted on the ground and muttered to herself, "I don't ask you to show up. I just want to know if you're alive." Chapter 1086. Little Chi's Foreign Affairs 73. Xianxia had disappeared. No one knew where Xianxia had gone, but there was no trace of him in the school or even in the entire Jianchuan. Rumors were flying in the school. It was rumored that Xianxia had been hacked to death on the street by a big shot. His face was unrecognizable and there was no one to collect his body. Little Chi listened. It would be great if he had really been hacked to death. That way she would give up. This was a month after Xianxia's disappearance. It was also Little Chi's first day of school. She had been looking for Xianxia for a full 30 days, but there was no news of him. It was as if he had evaporated from the face of the earth. In the beginning, Little Chi was only worried. She was worried that Xianxia was in a dangerous situation. Over time, her worry turned into anger and resentment. If she had known that such a day would come, why would they have wasted each other's time? Every day that Little Chi looked for Xianxia, she would delete a text message that she had sent to Xianxia. But even so, she knew very well in her heart that once something left a mark in your heart, it would be deeply rooted and could never be erased. Yanjun saw that Little Chi had gone to school. She quickly asked her after school, "What happened between you and Xianxia? Where is he?" Little Chi looked at the empty seat beside her and shook her head. "Yes, where is he?" Yanjun was a little confused when she saw her reaction. It was really strange for these two to be in a relationship. However, the lively and cheerful Little Chi had become a lot quieter since school started. After school, Little Chi left the school alone. However, on the way to get the car, she heard the familiar words again. "I heard that Xianxia is being kept by a rich woman. Someone saw him going in and out of entertainment places." Really? Back then, Xianxia was proud and arrogant. He didn't like anyone, but in the end, he was still sold. This time, Little Chi did not hold back. She directly went forward and grabbed the two girls' lapels. He slapped each of them. "Xianxia is not someone you can talk about. If I hear these words from your mouths again, don't blame me for sending your entire family to emigrate." The two of them were stunned. They did not expect Little Chi to have such a big reaction. Then Little Chi pushed the two of them away. "Get lost." The people around were shocked by Little Chi's intense reaction. Little Chi, who had not gone to school for a month, had obviously changed her temperament. Most importantly, she was now riding a motorcycle to school just like Xianxia used to. Little Chi didn't know how to vent the pain in her heart, so she went cross-country in the mountains. When she fell, she curled up on the ground. After crying enough, she went home peacefully. Mu Chichi was very worried about her daughter's recent condition. So she did not even work overtime and went home early to accompany her daughter. However, why would Little Chi need her company? Helpless, Mu Chichi returned to the study to look for her husband. Where did that brat from the He family go? Xianxia put down the document and hugged Mu Chichi. "On the night of the He family's accident, that kid came to me. Back then, in order to get rid of a life of fighting, he made a deal with someone in the underworld, who knew that the other party's subordinate would leak this matter to the enemy, so that kid was killed by the enemy." Xianxia looked at Mu Chichi and explained calmly, "The other party offered a high price for his head. Then why did he look for you? He couldn't let go of Xiaowan and racked his brains. The only thing he couldn't let go of was our daughter. The night he made the decision, he sat outside Zhongting all night." Xianxia hugged Mu Chichi and answered, A daughter will eventually grow up, but she didn't see the wrong person, huh?" End of this chapter. Chapter 1087. Little Chi's Foreign Affairs 74. Mu Chichi nodded after hearing this. Relationships were the best thing to hone a person's heart. This was also a rare and precious experience in relationships. Did he say when he would be back? Even someone as powerful as Xianxia could not answer this question. Therefore he could only shake his head. However, what the couple did not know was that Little Chi was just outside the door and heard their conversation. Then she returned to her room without a word. Unknowingly, tears had already streamed down her face. However, this still did not stop Little Chi from hating Xianxia. However, the more she hated someone, the easier it was for her to live like him. 5 years later, Jianchuan High School. The current Little Chi was famous for doing whatever she wanted in school. She had learned all of He Yanji's bad habits. As a third-year high school student who was about to graduate, the form teacher had long given up on disciplining her. After all, with little Qi's identity, who could control her? It was another Friday. Before the afternoon break, Yanjun threw a note and asked little Qi to accompany her to meet an online friend. In this era, there were still people who had pure online relationships. But there was nothing she could do. Who asked Yanjun to be her only friend? After school, little Qi rode her heavy machine and brought Yanjun to the restaurant where she had agreed to meet the online friend. She did not expect it to be a 5-star hotel. After the two of them got out of the car, little Qi rolled her eyes. There's only one purpose for a man to meet at a place like this, and that is to sleep with you. Oh. Yanjun held little Qi's arm and said, he explained to me that this hotel is owned by his family. You even got a rich husband? Little Qi rolled her eyes even more. That kind of rich family's kids are usually just playing around. Just accompany me to meet him. With you around, I'm not afraid of losing out. Little Qi crossed her arms impatiently. Her brown eyes were filled with helplessness. I'm afraid of you. In just a few years, the two of them had changed their personalities. Little Qi became more and more handsome and Yanjun became more and more feminine. The two of them appeared in the hotel and immediately attracted the attention of a group of men. When the waiter came over with the menu, little Qi took a look and threw it to Yanjun. However, the moment she looked up, she was suddenly stunned. The 7 or 8 men walking toward them walked very fast, but even in a flash, little Qi still saw one of them wearing a black trench coat. He had a white shirt on the inside, black casual pants on the lower half, and a pair of brown leather shoes. Little Qi immediately got up from her chair, which surprised Yanjun. Who did you see? Little Qi quickly held her trembling hands and pretended to sit back on the chair as if nothing had happened. No. But from that moment on, she could no longer hear anything in her head and her eyes could no longer see anything else. In his mind, there was only the man in the black trench coat, black gloves, and an evil aura. Xingtingwan? What? Upon hearing Yanjun's shout, little Qi frowned and snapped back to her senses. What's wrong with you? Yanjun looked at her worriedly. I saw He Yanji. Little Qi pretended to be calm and replied. You say it as if it's true. Just treat it as if he's dead. He hasn't come back for so many years. This time Yanjun rolled her eyes. You just go crazy from time to time. However, just as Yanjun was mocking little Qi, the group of men walked out of the hotel lobby again. This time even Yanjun saw it clearly. After a long time, Yanjun finally said, he's so King handsome. Yes, young master, he is back. He gave young master he the crematorium for chasing his wife. The secret of leaving was said slowly. End of this chapter. Chapter 1088. Little Qi didn't say anything. When Yanjun saw this, she couldn't help but laugh awkwardly. No matter how handsome he is, he's still a heartless man. Let's go. It's fine if we don't meet this online friend. Of course, why not? Little Qi turned her gaze away and pretended as if nothing had happened. Don't try to be brave. Yanjun exposed her. All these years, who do you think you are? Is it worth it? But look at He Yanji. He has a group of subordinates behind him. If he really remembers you, why didn't he look for you? Wanwan, wake up. You're Xing Zhao's daughter. What kind of man can't you get? Little Qi felt her throat burn, and even her breathing became extremely heavy. It's my fault. Why did I have to meet an online friend? After saying that, Yanjun pulled little Qi away from the hotel. When she returned to the garage and saw the motorcycle in the garage, little Qi felt her cheeks burn as if she had been slapped in the face. Therefore she called Qing Hui directly. Uncle Hui, come and pick me up. Where's the motorcycle? Yanjun asked her. Return it to whoever gave it to you. Little Qi only said these words. Then the extended Rolls-Royce stopped at the entrance of the hotel. Little Qi threw the car keys into the trash can and stepped into her car. It had been 5 years. It was good that he was dead, but she suddenly felt that she couldn't accept that He Yanji was still alive and not looking for her. Since he was still alive, then the things that she had guarded for 5 years were meaningless. Therefore she resolutely threw away the motorcycle that He Yanji had given her, including the phone that she had used for 5 years. She wanted to be herself. On the way back, little Qi didn't say a word. Qing Hui looked at her through the rearview mirror. After a long while he said, Miss, This is probably the last time I'll pick you up. When little Qi heard this, she looked at Qing Hui in surprise. Uncle Hui, even you are leaving me? Miss, this is Sir's arrangement. Tomorrow a new shadow will take over my job. Also want to get married and start a family, Qing Hui said helplessly. All these years, you and Sir have taken good care of me. I know that, but my mother is old and needs her son by her side. So, after much consideration, I finally decided to return to my mother. All good things must come to an end. I hope that everything will go smoothly in the future, Mississippi. Little Qi didn't say anything and continued to be silent. When they reached the entrance of the banyan courtyard, she sobbed and asked Qing Hui, "Do you have enough money?" "My dad. Mr. has given me a generous salary. All these years he has never treated me unfairly." Little Qi opened her mouth but could not say anything. She could only say, "That's it then, Uncle Hui. Everything goes smoothly." Qing Hui looked at little Qi's thin back and felt a little sorry for her. In fact, he didn't want to resign. He wanted to be transferred. This matter was supposed to wait until next year, but Xianxia suddenly had other arrangements. So Qing Hui was transferred ahead of schedule. Qing Hui did not know who little Qi's new shadow was, but he hoped that the young lady would be healthy and happy in the future. This night was not easy for little Qi. When she saw Xianxia again, the shadow that had taken care of her for many years had also left. Little Qi locked herself in the study for the whole night. The next morning she took off those extreme things and put on her high school uniform again. However, before she went to school, she saw Xianxia waiting for her in the dining room. "Dad. The new shadow is reporting downstairs. This time you don't have to worry about him leaving halfway." Xianxia seemed to know what she was upset about and comforted her gently. Little Qi nodded slightly. After breakfast she picked up her school bag and went to school. However, the moment she opened the car door she was stunned. Chapter 1089. It was just a side profile, but it was uncanny, resolute and handsome. The other party tilted his head slightly with a smile on his lips. "I'm your new shadow, Xianxia." After hearing this, little Qi opened the door and got out of the car. Xianxia seemed to have expected her to have such a reaction. He got out of the car and stopped her. "Xiaowan." Little Qi raised her head and slapped him with all her strength. "Get lost." Xianxia tilted his head but still pulled her into the car. "Let's go to school, Mississippi." Little Qi sat in the back seat and twisted her body, not wanting Xianxia to see her expression. "How could I dare to trouble brother he to be my chauffeur?" Xianxia opened his mouth but did not say anything. He just drove little Qi to the entrance of Jianchuan High School. When they arrived at the school gate, Xianxia opened the car door for little Qi. However, little Qi got out of the car and did not even want to look at him. "Go back and be your big brother. Don't disturb my life anymore. If I, Xing Qingwan, say that I don't want it, I won't want it." Xianxia looked at her stubborn back and mocked himself slightly. However, before little Qi could go far, he said to her, "At 5:30 p.m., I'll wait for you at the school gate." Little Qi did not stop and walked straight toward the school gate. Just now, Xiaowan had said, "How could I trouble brother he to be my chauffeur?" The fact that she could say this meant that she had long known about his actions in the underworld because he had replaced the big brother who had stabbed Auntie Hong back then and become the second in command. Now he could do whatever he wanted in both the underworld and the underworld, but he had never come to look for her. How many times had he been disappointed that he had become so cold-hearted? Back then Xiaowan had a pair of clean and clear eyes. Now there was always grief in Xiaowan's eyes that could not be dispelled. He knew that this was all caused by him. He had imagined the scene of their reunion thousands of times, but he did not expect her to say such decisive words. The day of their reunion was the day of their end. This was the scene that she had long thought of, right? Xianxia watched little Qi's figure disappear and returned to the car. Just as little Qi had said, he was now the boss of the gang and he still had to deal with gang affairs. Little Qi stood on the teaching building and watched the Rolls-Royce leave. There was no obvious change in her expression, but this could only deceive others. She could not deceive herself. After returning to the classroom, Yanjun was shocked to see the dark circles around her eyes. "What happened to you last night?" Little Qi snorted. "You'll know after school." "What are you trying to hide?" Little Qi didn't say anything else. Instead she buried her head in what a student should do. When school was over, little Chi walked with a large group of classmates. When she saw the Rolls-Royce, she walked over with everyone. When Xianxia saw her, he got out of the car. Then he heard little Chi say to everyone, "My driver is here. I'll be leaving first." Yanjun was stunned. Everyone was stunned because little Chi's new driver was Xianxia. Little Chi deliberately emphasized the word driver and called so many people together. It was obvious that she was humiliating them. Xianxia was Xing Qingwan's driver. Xing Qingwan's new driver was Xianxia. This person who had been missing for so many years actually appeared again. He even became the Xing family's chauffeur. Everyone had complicated feelings, especially Yanjun. She had watched little Chi change little by little in the past 5 years. The person she did not want little Chi to see the most was Xianxia. Therefore, she immediately followed little Chi into the Xing family's car. What's going on? Chapter 1090. I still want to know what's going on. Little Chi sat in the back. Her tone was cold and there was even a hint of anger. Xianxia, are you here to fool around again? Yanjun could not get an answer from little Chi, so she attacked Xianxia. Since you left, you shouldn't have appeared again. You deserve to die. Xianxia didn't say anything, but he looked at the front passenger seat. Yanjun followed his line of sight and found a machete on the passenger seat. There seemed to be blood on it. Yanjun was so scared that her face turned pale. She didn't dare to say anything. Midnight 7 looked out of the window. At this time, Xianxia tilted his head and asked little Chi, "Do you have homework? If you do, you have to go to my house for the time being." "I have my own home," little Chi answered stiffly. "Your parents went to Italy and asked me to look after you for the time being," Xianxia replied calmly. "What are you?" Little Chi directly asked Xianxia. "Send me to the Shin family. Even if there's no one left in the Shin family, I still have the Xing family. It's not your turn yet." As Yanjun listened to their conversation, she became even more flustered. If she had known earlier, she wouldn't have gotten in the car. Xianxia paused for a moment. His voice was a little hoarse and there seemed to be a hint of pleading in it. "Grandma wants to see you." "That's your grandmother, not mine." Little Chi did not waver at all. Her voice was still as hard as a rock. 5 years ago, Grandma injured her right leg in that fire. All these years she has been in pain. Her only wish is to see you. Xianxia softened his voice. "I can go see her, but I hope that from then on, you won't disturb my life anymore. Xianxia, I admit that I still love you, but I hate you even more." After hearing little Chi's words, Yanjun's eyes couldn't help but widen. What kind of enmity did these two people have? Especially little Chi's mixed emotions of love and hate. She felt goosebumps all over her body. "So don't force me anymore. Let me live." Little Chi's every word was like a sharp sword that pierced into Xianxia's heart. "I promise you. I'll retreat to a place where you can't see me." After Xianxia finished speaking, the car stopped because they had already arrived at the entrance of the hospital. Xianxia brought little Chi into the hospital's recuperation department. Only then did little Chi see the old man she had not seen in a long time. She was still fanning herself and sitting peacefully in the wheelchair. Her right leg was empty. Because of the fire, the old lady had lost a leg. Seeing this, little Chi couldn't control herself and burst into tears. When old lady he saw her, she immediately became excited. "Lil Wan? Are you Lil Wan?" Little Chi walked over and squatted down in front of her. "Grandma." "Oh, my Xiaoguai, Grandma finally sees you again. My Xiaoguai." In the old man's arms, little Chi couldn't control her emotions and cried silently. Grandma has been looking forward to it for many years. Grandma has been waiting and waiting. Grandma was afraid that you didn't want that kid anymore. Grandma is old. After Aunt Hong left, I'm his only family member. So, how can Grandma be at ease when I don't see you?" Little Chi didn't know what to say. She only felt the old man's palm was burning hot. "Now that you're here, I'm relieved." After saying that, the old lady fainted on little Chi's shoulder. Little Chi immediately turned her head and shouted at Xianxia, "Call the doctor, call the doctor." Bookmark for easier reading. Chapter 1091. The doctor tried his best to save her, but there was nothing he could do. Old madam, he was already physically and mentally exhausted. The reason why she endured the pain was because she had strong willpower to hold on and wanted to see little Qi again. Without seeing little Qi, she couldn't stop worrying about Xianxia. Now that she had seen him and her wish had been fulfilled, she didn't want to hold on anymore. She couldn't hold on anymore. Seeing the kind old lady on the hospital bed, little Qi cried out loud. Behind her, Xianxia reached out to hold her waist. Why did you let me see this? Xianxia, you and I are not from the same world. Why did you have to drag me in? What is this? Little Qi punched Xianxia's body excitedly. I really wish I could kill you. Xianxia wrapped his arms around little Qi and squatted on the ground to comfort her. I know I'm very selfish, but this is Grandma's only wish. She has been in pain for too long. I don't want her to continue to be in pain. Since you knew she was in pain, why didn't you appear earlier? It's been 5 years. Xianxia, what's the point of you appearing now? The murderer who killed Auntie Hong was executed yesterday, Xianxia said hoarsely. Why would I drag the old, weak, sick and disabled with a belly full of hatred and a kill order to stay by your side? Little Qi was speechless. She could only lean on Xianxia's shoulder and cry bitterly. Xiaowan, I don't have any relatives anymore. At this moment, Xianxia's voice was low and broken. Little Qi closed her eyes. She didn't want to think about anything. She just felt too tired and wanted to sleep. Xianxia hugged little Qi and watched as she fainted. Then he picked her up. Yanzhen was outside the ward. Seeing this, she quickly asked, Where are you taking little Qi? There's a funeral at home, so I won't send you off. With that, Xianxia left the hospital with little Qi in his arms. This time little Qi slept very soundly. When she woke up, she found herself in an unfamiliar room. At this moment, it was dark outside the window. Little Qi got up to open the door but was stopped by the man outside. Miss Xing, brother, he told you to rest well. Where is he? Little Qi asked. Downstairs. Xianxia's subordinate answered. Little Qi went downstairs barefoot and saw that the living room downstairs had been decorated into a morning hall. In the middle of the morning hall, there was a photo of old Madame He. In the photo she looked so peaceful. Xianxia stood in the middle of the morning hall with a gloomy expression. Little Qi looked at this man from behind. Her heart suddenly ached, but this did not mean that she had to forgive Xianxia. She said that she still loved this man, but at the same time she hated him very much. As if sensing someone behind him, Xianxia turned around and saw little Qi looking at him with a pale face. He whispered, Why don't you sleep a little longer? I want to go home, little Qi answered hoarsely. All right. Xianxia only said one word. Then he ordered the subordinate behind little Qi, Shichu, send Miss Xing home. Brother He. Tao. After saying that, Xianxia turned around and looked at the old lady's photo. Miss Xing, can you not go? Brother He doesn't have any relatives anymore. The subordinate called Shichu looked at little Qi pleadingly. Please, if you don't want to see him, go upstairs and rest. But, can you not leave this place? Little Qi didn't say anything, but her heart ached. However, she still didn't leave heartlessly. She went straight up to the second floor and returned to the bedroom she had just been in. Bookmark for easier reading. Chapter 1092. Thank you, Miss Xing. Jichu followed behind little Qi and thanked her. His tone was humble and pitiful. Little Qi couldn't say a word. Perhaps deep in her bones she still had some expectations for Xianxia, but she didn't dare to admit it. After returning to her room, little Qi looked at Xianxia's room again. There was a bed and a wardrobe. Other than that, there wasn't even an extra sofa. It was empty and cold. Was this really the room of a big shot? Does your brother He usually live here? Hearing little Qi's question, Jichu nodded. Yes, I've been with brother He for so many years. His life has always been so simple. He doesn't have much to do to pass the time. Then why do you know about me? Brother He hid it very well. In the underworld, he doesn't even dare to reveal the most important person to others. Isn't that equivalent to giving the other party a target? But I know because I've seen a photo of you in brother He's wallet, Jichu explained in a low voice. Every time brother He completes a big mission, he will take out the photo to take a look. I've secretly seen it a few times. Go out. Let me be alone. Little Qi's heart tightened when she heard Jichu's words. She didn't know what the man in the morning hall below was feeling at this moment. Little Qi lay on the bed. The smell of Xianxia's body still lingered on the bedding. Under the familiar smell, little Chi relaxed her tense nerves and unknowingly fell asleep with the bedding in her arms. In the middle of the night she was woken up by a nightmare. She wanted to sit up but she found that she couldn't move her waist. Little Chi looked down and found an arm across her waist. Behind her, the man's even breathing could be heard. Other than He Yanji there was no one else. Little Chi struggled to get up, but He Yanji held her down. Xiaowan, let me hug you for a while. Just for a while. I haven't forgiven you yet. Grandma's gone. From now on who should I fight for? In the darkness He Yanji suddenly asked mournfully. This caused little Chi's body to tremble, and she suddenly felt so much pain that she couldn't control herself. Back then, when Aunt Hong was in trouble and Grandma was injured, there were people who offered a bounty of 200,000 to take my life. I left without saying goodbye. I chose to leave because I knew that Grandma would not be able to live without me. However, you still have your parents and relatives. Little Wan, it's been 5 years and I've been living in the nightmare of Aunt Hong's blood every day. So I swear that I will avenge Aunt Hong at all costs. Grandma has never liked me being in the underworld. I know that after the fire her lungs were badly damaged and she developed lung cancer. I tried everything I could to keep her by my side, but when I saw her enduring the pain, I knew I was too selfish. I have no family. From now on I have nothing. In the faint moonlight, little Chi cried silently. Especially when he heard He Yanji say that he had nothing. What about me? What am I? When she asked this question, little Chi clearly felt that the body behind her was slightly stiff. I don't dare to say anything to ask you to stay. He Yanji, let me tell you I hate you, I'm angry with you and I wish I could cut you into 1,000 pieces. However, only I can bully you. No one else can. We haven't broken up yet. I'm not done with you, little Chi shouted excitedly and hoarsely. Chapter 1093. After hearing this, He Yanji fell into ecstasy. He quickly tightened his arms. The feeling of regaining what he had lost made him want to cry. Little Chi hugged He Yanji's arm and couldn't help but cry. You bastard He Yanji *ck your ancestors. Why are you being reserved? Can I cut you into 8 pieces and make soup to drink? As long as you left me a word, even if it was just one word telling me to wait for you, I would have no complaints. And today, as long as you said that you wouldn't let me go, as long as you said it, I wouldn't refuse you even if I died of discomfort. In the end, you still need your little brother to beg me for this? Because I'm afraid. He Yanji answered hoarsely. I can't lose anymore. Xiaowan, I'm afraid I'll collapse. Little Chi was so angry that her heart was blocked, so she bit He Yanji's arm, leaving a row of neat teeth marks. You just lack someone to take care of you. He Yanji hugged little Chi tightly and blew his hot breath into her ear. Please don't interfere. That night the two of them cried and laughed. They talked to each other tirelessly, so much so that in the end, they didn't even know how they fell asleep. The next morning, little Chi woke up from the bed and turned to look at He Yanji. However, he had already gotten up. Little Chi heard the sound of morning music downstairs, so she quickly got up. Unexpectedly, Shi Chu was waiting at the door. Miss Xing, you're up. Brother, he asked me to send you to school. Where's he? Little Chi asked as she tidied up her appearance. He's downstairs dealing with the old lady's funeral, so I'm afraid he won't be able to send you off personally. Brother, he said that when the old lady's matter is settled, he'll personally be your chauffeur. Ji Chu conveyed He Yanji's message seriously. Little Chi listened, her expression unreadable. After a long while, she continued to ask Ji Chu, when is the funeral? Tomorrow morning. I'll come back tonight. Little Chi wrote her phone number on Ji Chu's palm and asked him to hand it to He Yanji. Watch him. If there's anything, remember to call me. Okay. Ji Chu clenched his fist and nodded vigorously. Little Chi silently walked down the stairs and left the courtyard when He Yanji's back was facing her. He knew He Yanji's intentions. There would definitely be many people from the underworld coming to pay their respects at the old lady's funeral. He did not want him to be involved, so he asked Ji Chu to send him away. Little Chi felt that she was very strange. She clearly hated him, but she could not help but want to listen to him. She silently made plans for him, especially when she saw him dressed in a black suit and bowing to the guests in the morning hall. Little Chi clenched her hands tightly. If it was true love, how many people would be able to see the person they loved suffer? Forget it. He would slowly settle the scores from the past 5 years with him in the future. Since he couldn't escape, then he wouldn't. She was going to be an adult soon, so there was no need to play hide and seek like a child. After little Qi left, Zhichu gave the phone number to He Yanji. Brother He, Miss Sheng asked me to give this to you. He Yanji took out his phone, wrote down little Qi's phone number and added it to his favorites. Note, wife. When you see her in the future, you have to call her sister-in-law. He Yanji secretly swore in his heart that from now on he would make up for everything he owed little Qi. I only have you and only you. You're tuning in to the Zhou Xian's Legacy YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.